Hello, friends. Welcome to
I
what is the Season 9 REL 6 and 7 Week 7 Division Recap. Precap. Whatever. Boom. Into the game we go. Now we are small. And this is what the results from Div 6 this week look like. Let me get my predictions up somewhere so that I can see what we did here.
I've got mine in front of us.
So in very traditional us fashion, for All Orc and No Play versus the Dead Wrestler Society, I predicted the Lizards, you predicted the Orcs, and then they tied. Because that's how these things always work for us. Orc got MVP, and Road Warrior Hawk got MVP, which does level him, so we'll get to see what he got in a bit. But this is just a 1-1 tie. 53 blocks, 48 blocks.
If he didn't pick up block, I'm going to rage.
1 Kaz, 1 death, 3 KOs, 2 Kaz. I mean, I very much imagine that this was a pretty straightforward. Each person scored on their own half while punching each other, and nobody could get a big enough advantage to make a huge difference there.
Yep, the Lizards got a grand total of 1 armor break on 53 blocks.
That's not great.
Says some things. The Orcs made... The Orcs made 43 successful armor rolls out of 45.
What?
What the shit?
I don't understand.
95% armor rate. Everyone is AV11. I mean, that's actually high for AV11, I think. What's 1 in 36, percentage-wise?
Man, I don't know.
Anyway, whatever. No, it
3%?
Yeah, I'd say it's like 3-something. Anyway, that's disgusting. I don't even know how that's possible. The Lizards should have broken armor a lot more and clearly did not.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, that's a game.
Yep.
So we have foul targets in the Fogmire Fen Beasts, which was Lizards and Wood Elves. We both predicted Lizards, and we were correct in that Fogmire Fen Beasts took it 2-1 over Jeff in the foul targets.
I've got us predicting Khemri. Do I have that wrong?
We predicted Khemri in the Lizard versus Wood Elf matchup?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I'm looking at the Khemri versus Lizards.
That would have been impressively bad, even by our standards.
Whatever.
3 deaths sustained for the foul targets, so I feel like this...
One of them was on a dodge or a GFI, because there's only 2 kills inflicted.
But 5 casualties and 3 deaths. I mean, these Wood Elves just got beaten around by the Lizards, and...
I mean, the foul targets have had a rough couple of games, so...
Yeah, they were incapable of outscoring the Lizards before they died. They did a lot of blocks, actually, 36, surprisingly, compared to Lizard 45, but...
Yeah, keeping toe-to-toe with Lizards as Wood Elves is pretty impressive.
Yeah, toe-to-toe is a relative term here. In terms of, they got 2 casualties and 4 KOs, where they sustained 4 KOs, 5 casualties, and 3 deaths.
Yes, I meant more just in raw block numbers.
It's 15 SPP for the Lizards, though, which is pretty good for them.
Yes, quite. And then we have the...
He made 100% of his going for it. He rolled 10 of them, made all of them. It's not bad. Yeah, so we had Economy of Scale and Hufflepuff Heroes, where we predicted the Hufflepuff Heroes because, I mean, we just wanted them to win, mostly. Unfortunately, they lost to Economy of Scale and the Lizards. We got a Saurus MVP, doesn't level him. Skeleton MVP, doesn't level him.
Both possessed it a hell of a lot in their own half. Oh, actually, no. The Economy of Scale possessed it mostly in the opponent's half.
So presumably they may have stolen it from their opponent to get that touchdown rather than scoring on their drive, considering that sort of half occupation stat.
And they had Slibley, and Slibley is a hero against Khemri teams.
Yeah, I think we even suggested that last week. Like, Slibley will do work here, and probably did, I imagine. They both had exactly 50 yards running, which is pleasing. Khemri sustained 4 casualties. The Lizards sustained 2 deaths. I wonder if they're Saurus numbers. I feel like we're going to have a couple of decimated teams to look at when we get to those.
Could just be Skinks, but yeah, could be Saurus.
Rage Dwarf and BioWare for life. So we predicted the dwarves versus vamps to be a dwarf victory, unsurprisingly, and the dwarves, unsurprisingly, beat the vampires.
That is a very tough matchup for the vamps. You just hope to not die.
Yeah.
He only lost one thing. He actually killed a dwarf. In 40 blocks, he got 11 armor breaks, but only 1 Kaz, 0 KOs, and it was a kill.
One Kaz, 1 death sustained for the dwarves. 4 Kaz, 1 deaths, 7 KOs sustained for the vampires. So that's unsurprising. Some of those Kaz and KOs are probably from bites. In fact, let's take a look at the Bloodlust. 84% of Bloodlusts.
Almost exactly average.
Yep. Most of the hypnotic gazes worked. I mean, 9 for 2, or 9 succeeds and 2 failures.
Good GFIs, good dodges.
Yeah, like the dice weren't
bad armor, but not necessarily if Mighty Blow is in play.
Yeah, and I mean, the dice were mostly fine. Like, if anything, they were probably a little good, but dwarves just counter vamps so strongly. Like, it's such a hard.
Yeah, there were a lot of skulls. The BioWare for life rolled. It's like for their blocking dice.
The block dice weren't great.
Amazing. But yeah, probably just a matter of dwarfs countering vamps really hard.
Average Race Joes and Rouge's Gallery haven't played yet for some reason, so sadly that was one of our contentious ones where I predicted Shorfs and he predicted Lizards. So hopefully that gets played. Maybe it's getting played now or shortly or something.
Maybe.
If it doesn't, then we can't count it to our score. We'll have to remember to check that later, because we probably won't remember to check that and it won't get included in the score. So we should make a note of that.
Apparently the 2 deaths were skinks.
Okay, well that's not the worst. Great Cold Ones and the Bad QB Squad. We predicted Norse to win over the Underworld, and they certainly did, 2-0. MVP on the Loner Goblin, which kind of sucks. You
versus
don't really
MVP
want that.
on the Yeti, who still definitely needs guard. So, or piling on. you get guard. That's what it is.
Block Mighty Blow Claw. Come on.
So there was a chainsaw in play for the Norse, though they used it all of once.
There's a chainsaw in play for the Norse? Oh, there.
Yeah. 0 expulsions though, so maybe it just only got 1 good foul off, but he got 5 KOs and 3 injuries, so definitely beat the hell out of the Underworld, kind of unsurprisingly.
Yeah, sustained
Blocked
7
spam
KOs.
and lots of Mighty Blow.
Yeah, they're gonna get the goblins are gonna get crunched pretty hard by the block and Mighty Blow. And then if you lose too many goblins, well, now you only have positionals, and it can be a little hard.
Here, I'll turn on the lights so I'm a little bit less of an art exhibit.
That sounds good. And the Elements of Style and the Respectable Gents, we predicted the Wood Elves to win over the Chaos here, and we were correct in that MyStays took this 1-0 over the Respectable Gents. The Strength Chaos Warrior got MVP, which is good because he would like to level. And Chlorine the Word Answer got MVP, which is, always good because that's a good piece to get leveled up. 6 armor breaks versus 16 armor breaks. 1 death sustained, 4 casualties, and 5 KOs sustained. Although the Chaos sustained a death, 3 casualties. This is a seriously violent week.
20 succeeded blocks to manage 5 KOs and Kaz is pretty good.
And a death.
He has a Mighty Blow though, doesn't he? Oh, maybe he doesn't. No, he doesn't have a Mighty Blow.
That's pretty serious. Yeah, all of the games look bloody this week, but Chaos versus Wood Elves and the Wood Elves killing Chaos players is not something you expect. But there you go. Those are some, it's pretty serious game in all respects, really. Oh, the Chaos had not great block dice.
I was gonna say the Chaos had some rough blocking dice. The Wood Elves didn't roll very many blocking dice.
Unsurprisingly.
The Wood Elves D6s were pretty hot, though the dice pool doesn't necessarily say much. Their armor was atrocious. Jesus. He failed 62% of his armor rolls.
Oh, dear.
It turns out having hot D6s doesn't always work when you roll your own armor.
Yeah. So if we look at the leaderboard after that, We have MyStays still up there in first place, 501. Ragedorf on his heels with 4-1-1. Average Race Joe's could be tied for first with 501, but they have to play Rouge's Gallery, and we don't have that result in there yet. So that they could be up there as well, tied for first. Economy of Scale at 402, also a contender. Things starting to split up. Certainly a lot more difference between these teams than there is in REL 7. Shall we go take a look at some of these teams then?
Yeah, let's start going through them. Starting with
Wrestler
one
Society.
of the 10 lizard teams.
So many lizard teams, man. 1740 Lizards by Drenar.
Hey, look, the plus strength guy got blocked finally.
Yeah,
A level too late, in my opinion, but
he's also niggled.
he is niggled. He really should be block guard, but I'll allow the Blitzer dream.
Yeah,
Especially as he seems to love his break tackle, so more break tackle, more better. The new Crocs only played 2 matches, still hasn't picked up any SPP. But other than that, looking good.
Saurus look mostly good other than the injuries.
Yep. The movement bust isn't a big deal, but you hate to see it on your blodge tackle blitzer. You could give him guard and just make him kind of a blodge guard piece at this point. Having tackle on a guard piece is not too bad. You just stick them on people.
Three guards, 2 with break tackle is really nice on the Saurus. Like you can reposition your guard easily now, which is kind of cool.
Yep. You like to see some stand firm in there too, to like kind of have a combination of mobile and sticky roadblocks, but looking real good. 3 guard is always nice.
Yeah, Captain Lou can get stand firm next. And then there's a good blitzer with block, tackle, mighty blow, break tackle. That's kind of cool too.
Might give him I like getting a Frenzy Saurus at around this point, though the movement bust is kind of awkward because you don't really want Frenzy on a movement busted piece because then it kind of defeats the purpose, and you don't really want Frenzy on a break tackle piece necessarily because you kind of want to get stand firm to make him less easy to surf, and waiting for level 7 is going to be a bit of a trek. So, but yeah, looking good. Mr. Perfect is going to implode any
Somebody
day now.
kill that skink, please. His armor 6.
Yeah, I know.
Make it dead. The catch, Agi sidestep. I mean, he hasn't rolled doubles. He's rolled plus Agi, which is great, but everything else is just a normal. But the armor 6, man, he's going to die really hard one day.
And everyone will rejoice. Kind of like how everyone will rejoice when Rox finally dies.
Yeah, I will be pleased if someone kills Rox before we have to play.
Well, I keep playing with fire by like greed appoing. It's going to happen someday. So the next team is these Rolling Reds Fogmire Fenbeasts, who are MNG'd on their Croxagore. That was one of those injuries they got last game. Not good.
Also a movement bust on a Saurus and an armor bust on another Saurus. So there are a lot of lizard teams in these divs, but they're also they're hurting, all of them so far.
Yeah, you kind of have to carry injuries sometimes as lizards. Though I would look to recycle 2 thumbs up now. He doesn't really... I mean, he's piling on, which you don't have another of, but you could easily get another Saurus going. I think... Oh, he doesn't have any money. Never mind. When you have money, I would look to recycle that.
Speaking of Frenzy Saurus, Puff is really cool. I like that Saurus.
Puff is great. He has clearly done work against the Wood Elves, which surprises no one. Turns out Frenzy Tackle Mighty Blow is good against blodge pieces.
Yeah. And Pro, for that matter.
Pro helps.
And then Snicker is basically the same thing, minus the Pro. And, of course, like the ever-present plus Armor Saurus for some reason.
I don't talk about it.
Less crazy skinks, but that's actually not bad. I mean, you've got your sort of one ball carrier with blodge sidestep, and then all the rest are just keeping the TV down, like to be able to have more skills in the Saurus.
Yeah, like I have really crazy skinks, but it does really bloat you.
I like this.
You have to get value out of them, which is why I throw my block diving tackle 1 on anything that moves.
Yeah, if that Croxagore was not MNG'd and had guard, like this would be a really scary looking team.
Yeah, it already is anyway.
It is, but it'd be you wouldn't want much more. Basically,
That's
a blodge step Saurus. What the hell?
That is 2 doubles. I have mixed feelings about sidestep. I don't think you need it. Stand Firm does most of the same stuff. You could have gone I mean, if you wanted to go that route to be a sticky, annoying piece, you could have gone diving tackle. I don't like throwing your strength 4 pieces on the ground, but it's funny.
Still, it's a Blodgestepsaurus. That's really funny.
It is a Blodgestepsaurus. Give him plus agi, and he's the ball carrier. Boom, easy game, easy life.
Yeah.
Don't do that, please.
That'd be so annoying, though.
Yes.
Guard would be good too, because then with the
side
step you can shove him into weird places.
You can get most of the annoyment value by taking stand for.
If you had guard and people blocked him, like most of the time would be a push, and then you can just sidestep into more cool guard places to make your opponents like further blocks harder, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, but with guard pieces, you tend to shove them in annoying places, so like stand firm just keeps them there.
Yeah,
and isn't the cost of a double, you know.
I suppose that's true. Khemri,
our favorite team.
We still have Lodge Tackle. Tomb Guardian is 1 SPP away from leveling, so we'll find out if he gets a 4th double.
They did eat a... and I think he just really wants Mighty Blow, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, he really does.
Or Break Tackle.
Or any...
probably Mighty Blow.
Oh, man. Break Tackle with Strength 5 and Dodge is so good.
It's pretty good. If Dr. Robert rolls doubles, he's getting Dodge. Blitzer, I'll take 8 a movement bust. That really sucks. To eat a movement bust on one of your 3 movement 6 pieces is always tough. Oh. He's only Mighty Blow Tackle, so I would look to recycle him eventually. Maybe not now. No, I mean, you've got your team's in pretty good shape. I'd consider recycling him now, actually.
Yeah, you have the other one that you can use for tackle. I guess it depends on what your game.
It depends on the matchup. If I was coming up against a team where tackle didn't matter, then I would probably recycle him.
Well, like your next game is going to be you're not going to have him anyway, so it doesn't matter. But if your game 2 games from now is one that's super important to have tackle, then maybe keep him. But if not, you can just fire him now, and that way you still have
2 tackle. Ben, he's got 1 on a Tomb Guardian.
And yeah, but you're not going to blitz with the Tomb Guardian from the middle of the map.
Well, you're not going to blitz with the movement 5 guy from the middle of the map either. It's only 1 more movement.
Yeah, that's true. 1 more movement makes a big difference, though.
It does. Movement 4 versus movement 5 is a big deal. BioWare for Life got through it with all of his vamps alive, so he survived the dwarves. He sustained some deaths.
Oh, we didn't. We moved on. I thought we were not done yet.
Oh, I mean, everything else is the same, I think.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's still unfortunate that he's got nothing. He's got 3 skills on 2 Tomb Guardians each, and then nothing on the other 2, which is kind of unfortunate.
Rookie Tomb Guardians do not level, really.
Yeah, and everything else looks basically the same. There's a weird plus strength block skeleton.
The plus strength block skeleton is my hero.
I like
the plus agi sure hands skeleton is my dreamboat. Yeah, this team is wonderful. I love it so goddamn much. And the guard skeleton is about to level and get block, which will make him a lot sturdier of a support piece. So much fun. So many doubles, so many stats.
They did seem to survive, BioWare, I guess. Or they fired the ones who died or got injured too badly or what have you.
I think they sustained some deaths, but they seem to have all been thralls. They still have a Blodge thrall, which is weird. 2 Wrestle thralls. A Dirty Player plus Strength, which I think is new. And if it's not new, I don't think I would have taken that plus Strength. Like, you just can't. Not a dirty player piece. No, I can't. I can't justify it.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't know if I take plus strength on any thrall. Thralls are not for building. I mean, I guess if I take plus agi.
I probably would. The only, I guess it depends what he already has. The problem with getting thralls that have too many good skills, like you don't want to bite that blodge guy because you'd like to keep him on the field, right? So, but sometimes you have to, and you just go out your 90k thrall, right, to do a vamp action, which is not really great. And especially, I guess it's okay when you only have 4 vamps because you'll still have 7 thralls on the field. But if you move up to like 5 vamps or something and you start to lose thralls, having less thralls on the field, having valuable thralls suddenly is harder to deal with.
Do you ever go to 5 vamps? I've never seen a team with more than 4.
Yeah, you see people that have 5 sometimes, but it normally doesn't show up until the like 4 you have like pro or whatever.
So you don't take the attrition as often?
Yeah, so you don't have to use this. Like, you just get, slightly fewer bloodlusts because you can pro them sometimes. So, but and yeah, or I mean, there's a team in 1 minute that's doing 6 vamps or whatever, or not, but it's 1 minute. But
I started with a Minotaur, 4 Chaos Warriors, and 1 reroll in minute. Doesn't make it a good build.
no, I'm saying that's why it's 1 minute. Lol.
You'd have to be pretty aggressively developed, but yeah, I guess it's technically possible.
Yeah, don't do that at home, kids. But no, like most for them, the most common is 4, but you'll see 5 once the first few get, or at least a couple of the first few get a lot of development. But there's some so the vamps are reliable though, right? We've got a blodge one and a bunch of block ones. You need a bit more because you need to stop at some point you're probably burning rerolls on these vamps doing stuff that isn't like Bloodlust or Hypnogaze, right? Because they get a dub skull. Not that matters, or are both down. I mean, but that doesn't matter anymore because block, or they fail a dodge or whatever, and you've got to reroll it. You start burning through your rerolls and the reliability stuff. So once you can get them to have the reliability skills, like this blodge guy, then you just have to you stop using rerolls as often for that kind of stuff, and they can get a lot better.
Yep. Then we have Rouge's Gallery, who hasn't played their game yet, and therefore is the exact same as the last time we looked at them, I think. Maybe they played 1 game, but I don't see anything new here. They're going to be missing a guard piece for their game they're supposed to be playing this week, but they still got 4.
Is it Chaos Dwarf Niggled? He is.
Yes.
Oof.
Yeah.
The horns, the horns guy, the claw palm with horns. I like him. I also want to kill him though. Yeah, I mean, I would probably build most vamps as block dodge, or dodge block in some combination. Maybe one with Mighty Blow, one with guard, or one with tackle, or something.
Yeah, you can kind of make them do everything.
But the first 2 skills you get on almost all the vamps should probably be block or dodge.
Reliability stuff.
Unless you need something for a game coming up. Strength Hobgoblin is fun. It's always cool. This is good.
Yeah, you're probably going to build him into a ball carrier.
Yeah.
You don't have a dedicated ball carrier right now, no sure hands.
So
you're probably burning.
That's fun.
I mean, you've got a Agi 3 bull, but even then, it's not really that reliable. So, I'd like to see Blight 2 pick up block and then sure hands, and then maybe become your dedicated ball carrier.
I mean, if you get Blight 2 sure hands, is that not just functionally equivalent, or if not worse, than just having the Bull Centaur do it if he has sure hands? Because the Bull Centaur is also movement 6, also strength 4, also Agi 3, but he has sprint and sure feet.
Yes, but the Bull Centaur doesn't have sure hands right now.
But he's 3 SPP away from leveling.
Yeah, but does that look like a ball carrier build to you with guard? I mean, I guess it's
the
not.
Agi.
The Agi does. Yeah, I mean, you could do it with the bull, but the problem is... No, I guess it's not really a problem. I mean, you lose that mobility freedom elsewhere, but yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good ball carrier.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you get an Agi Bull, I feel like you should just make him the ball carrier because he's just going to be really good at it with the strength 4 and movement 6 and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I just would have probably not... Instead of break, tackle, and guard, I would have picked up sure hands and... I don't know what I'd get as my last skill.
I mean, break tackle is still good. You can dodge as if you're Agi 4 or whatever.
I don't know if it's worth the TV when it's only a +1 to 1 dodge per turn. It's like a terrible 2 heads if you think about it that way. I mean, you pray for a double and hope for dodge. Anyway, but it's a good-looking team. I mean, it's got so much murder.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
It really does. And although it's unfortunate, or fortunate, depending on how you look at it, that Turtle has a niggle. Because he'll die at some point probably. If you can get through, if they run
89 thick skull.
If they run up against another claw team, it could be bad for him because he's going to have a massive target, even bigger than normal, on his horned head.
There aren't that many claw teams in this. There's Chaos Time, but he doesn't have any claw, really, right?
I don't think so. Not yet.
He does not because he has a billion plus movement and plus strength. He has 2 plus strength Chaos Warriors. Why?
There is potentially claw.
Eyes and Mike's claw.
And the bad QB squad has claw.
Oh, the bad QB squad have claw. That's true.
Speaking of claw players, the niggle, we've got Dark Blake Bortless from the bad QB squad. The Skaven Blitzers with claw, mighty blow, piling on, jump up, and a niggle.
Yeah, I mean, he's not long for this world, but he's getting kills while he's here.
Yeah, that's everything. That's literally everything.
People. yeah, I mean, that's everything you want. He's done.
I mean, tackle and pro, I guess, are the only other things you could possibly want.
Tackle, pro, dodge, really the only things you consider giving him at this point.
Yeah.
That troll continues to be my second favorite big guy in the league.
Yeah. Block claw tentacles.
So good. Skaven Thrower is a rookie. He's got another Skaven Thrower with extra arms that is about to level. Do they have Agi access? They do not.
So Skaven Thrower? No.
You could get accurate, I guess, but you're probably not doing much passing because of animosity and because of Agi 3 everywhere. So you could do accurate for like some short pass nonsense to like Skaven linemen, but
Juggernaut could be good too.
I don't really know actually how you build Underworld at that stage. So he's got a Skaven lineman with horns and wrestle, so building him as a sacker.
He does need to buy another Skaven Blitzer, but he can't afford one right now, sadly.
The Underworld problem.
So he's gonna go into his next game with one like serious kill piece who's niggled. Like that's such a giant target. If you can remove that Skaven Blitzer, like you win this game against them, right? Like it's so critical that he plays carefully with this Skaven Blitzer in his next game.
Yeah, Juggernaut isn't bad either. But I like tackle because he has literally 0 tackle. As evidenced from when he went up against the Wood Elves, not having tackle sometimes just automatically loses you games.
Couple random goblins here. Got a big hand one, got a prehensile tail one, and we got a wrestle horns one, which is cool.
The wrestle horns goblin is always cool.
Yeah,
we've do a 1-die sack where you get strip ball next, or no, strip ball's a double.
Yeah.
Well, he got a horn. He got a wrestle rather, which was a double. So, wrestle. So he's praying to get another one so that he can get strip ball.
Yeah, because stunty means a 3+ cage dive sort of regardless, and then you can get a 1-die on the ball, and wrestle helps a lot with that. So it's a cool little sacker. And then the Skaven lineman can do that as well to make sure he can get 2 dies on, like, you know, with moving 7 horns and wrestle, you can like have a good safety sort of player. If somebody potatoes, he's really likely to stop that potato. So chaos time. I'm sorry you're hearing Discord messages. Normally it mutes itself when I'm streaming, but it is doing something weird for some reason right now.
It's strange. Chaos Time has lost a Chaos Warrior.
Certainly has. And another one is niggled.
He also lost. Yeah, another one's niggled. Another one's AV busted. 2 are AV busted, actually. Yikes. The AV busted tackle plus movement one is dead. Should be dead. The rookie one is, of course, dead.
Yeah.
The niggled plus strength warrior is fine. He's double niggled, actually, from what I remember, which is really funny. He's going to implode one. Is he triple niggled?
He's double niggled.
He's double niggled. You can't get triple niggled.
That's so funny. +2. Oof.
Yikes. Every armor break is absolutely horrifying.
Yep.
He's got a bit more block now, which is nice. But yeah, he really needs to get some replacing done. And he's only got 70k in the bank. So that means no new Chaos Warrior for him.
He can get a new Beastman if he wants, but I think you save for the Chaos Warrior. Goddamn
Absolutely.
murder elves. Yeah, there's a lot of stats which kind of slowed down his start, but now he's starting to get more reliability skills. He's got guard on a Beastman, couple block thrown in. All the Chaos Warriors have block and Mighty Blow. 2 of them have plus strength now, which is really dumb. Like, this is a really stat heavy team. If he can stabilize, like, and you know, move forward on the back of 2 strength 5 Chaos Warriors, 2 movement 7 Beastmen. Wait, that's a 4th movement Beastman? Because there was another one that was double plus movement who died. So this is a 4th Beastman with plus move.
I could not even begin to tell you.
There's so many stats. Like, it's going to slow down his, like, you know, reliability and his regular development, certainly. But once they get some development, like next season, this team is going to be
sure.
absolutely
But I think
terrifying.
this is kind of highlighting the problem with this kind of greed. Is if you go hard on the greed in the first couple of levels, you're bad enough that you sustain attrition when you would normally be a lot safer because you don't have reliability skills and you don't have any kill skills.
Yeah, but he's at the point. He's at the point now where that shouldn't be a problem anymore.
Right, but he's dying. Like, he's losing Chaos Warriors, he's losing Beastmen.
He lost 2 Beastmen that are irrelevant, really. Like, all he's down really is a Chaos Warrior.
Yeah, but losing a Chaos Warrior that you can't replace for at least a game is not, like, a trivial thing.
I mean, but I mean, you can do it. I won my game without a Nurgle Warrior. It's not.
Sure.
It's not the end of the world, especially since the other three are like 2 of them are +5. Or strength 5. He has 2 big guys basically without loner and with block and without a nega trait. Like these guys the 2 strength 5 guys will carry it real hard until you can get another one.
Sure. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't take the plus strength. I'm saying maybe not 5 movement ups.
Maybe.
But yeah, I mean, like one day, it's true. Dead rookie Chaos Warriors do happen.
This team will be like, as long as this double niggled guy can survive, which he may not, this team will be really good in like a season. But you're going through a rough patch right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's starting to look better. You've got some more reliable beastmen. One day, Steven is going to have plus movement, blodge, tackle, and he's going to be great. For now, he's kind of weird, but.
Well, he needed tackle. I understand. And you got the double. You don't want to waste it.
Yeah, I get it.
So, my stays, Elements of Style. Got some Wood Elves here. We still have Lithium kicking around, that one turner. He still exists. Although Carbon is out for a game.
And niggled. I think he was already niggled, though.
Yes. And we got Boron, who is, I think, the same as before, but another good catcher with Blodge Step and Guard. Like, so it's a Guard on Wood Elf teams is gross. And that's
they just
Guard on a
announced the
Blodge Step
Chaos
piece.
Cup signups.
Ooh, go sign up. Chaos Cup is fun.
When is it, though?
I will have to, I'll play my Chaos Cup Dwarfs again, probably, that I played from last season.
10 days. So it is on Saturday at 11 a.m. UTC, so it's early morning for us. That's doable.
8 a.m.? Yeah, I could do that.
7 a.m. for me.
Which Saturday?
Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Oh, no, wait, I'm in Nova Scotia.
Oh, you're coming here?
Yeah, I'm coming here for 2 weekends in a row.
I didn't know that.
You're getting me from the airport on one of them.
Am I?
We discussed this.
You didn't tell me when. You just said, could you? And I said, yeah.
I believe you're getting me from the airport on Labor Day weekend. Or, Victoria, whatever the September holiday is.
So it'd be Saturday the 1st.
Correct, Domingo.
So it's Cribble Cup is on the 25th. I really want to play, but I don't think I can.
I'll be at high school friend's wedding.
I will be giving blood at 10 a.m.
Wow.
What?
Nothing. Just different excuses. Back to this, which we horribly tore my stays away from. He's got the rookie dancer, Titanium, who is asking to be paced with that name, if you ask me. Though I have a skink called T-Bone Von Dodges better, so maybe I shouldn't talk. Still has a guard catcher in Calcium. Always really amazing to have the mobile.
There's 2 of them. Boron is also a guard catcher.
Oh, it's true. Your catchers are gross.
Yep. All of them are really good, and you have 4 that are all still alive for the most part. And all of them are really good at what their job is, which is kind of amazing. And you still have Chlorine, who's a good ward answer. The only thing you're missing now, considering you lost your other ward answer, is like the real dedicated like strip ball ward answer to do the Wood Elf nonsense of cage dive, strip ball, steel ball, leave.
It's true. So he does have to rely on tackle and a 1-die probably being enough, but guard lineman. That's a shame. You had 4 guard briefly as what else? That seems fair.
Yeah, I mean, guard linemen are valuable, but they're also going to die because they're guard. Like, you're putting them places, therefore they're going to get punched. And they're line elves. But while you have them alive, it's glorious.
Yep.
Yeah, the thrower is got a little bit. Got one. We got accurate there, so hopefully he can pick up like something stupid like plus agi or strong arm or what have you, and become even grosser.
Yep. And he's like doing the classic Wood Elf thing at this developed TV where you're just like, it's kind of like the opening scene to Aladdin. You know that song, one step ahead of the red line, one leap ahead of the sword, that sort of thing. You're just like, just keeping shy of like being sub 11 players as your linemen get brutally murdered in your positionals. But like he's keeping ahead of it. No bank and down to 11 players, I think. Yeah, 11 players, MNG 2, but He'll be back.
Yeah, he'll probably spend the next game or two trying to level the new War Dancer, if at all possible, and then go back to putting it onto the thrower or whatever. Those catchers are really good, and they'll stay good, but they also tend to hog SPP unless you're careful, because, they're catchers. You throw it to them, they run in and score. One of them's even a one-turner. So probably just spend the next game, if you can, and try to level up the War Dancer. Get back to that Wood Elf nonsense of strip ball, and then I would not want to play this team under any circumstances.
Yep, just a sec. I need to send a quick admin message because
Sure.
no one else is around.
We going on to the great cold ones. Yes, it's the Average Race Joes who haven't played their game. So the Great Cold Ones by Eisenmike, proud member of my dwarf clan team. However, he died, and I replaced him with Eisenmichael because I needed a new dwarf. And I thought that was funny. Kick would be good too. I forgot to even mention that, is that you don't have Kick anymore, and Kick is kind of important as a Wood Elf. Level up your War Dancer, and because Kick is so important, take Kick on your War Dancer. Would highly recommend. Who do you even take Kick? Like, you'd want to give Kick to, like, the rookie guy, I guess, right? But he's MNG'd. I mean, you could give it to one of the wrestle pieces, and that would probably be fine. But you do want to Kick. So, 4 linemen with nothing. Okay. Hello there, yep. We've got the plus Agi Berserker with dodge, mighty blow, and tackle. He's not the killiest killer we've ever seen, but he's certainly capable of doing it with doing something with mighty blow and tackle. He'll want like piling on to really improve that. But frenzy, you get two shots at it. Mighty blow if you do knock them over, and tackle, more reliable to knock players down. Not necessarily as likely to remove them from the field, but very good at knocking players over with 2 shots and tackle. We got a Berserker with a pending level up, so we can't really say much about him. He's got dodge, which is cool. 2 runners, 1 with guard, both with plus movement actually, so movement 8, which is really good. Movement 8 is a good thing to have.
We always talk about his positionals because they're really neat looking.
Especially
he's so well organized.
Especially since your whole team is moving 6, though, having 2 movement 8 players, like it fixes a little bit of that slow weakness. The problem is you just need to make sure you don't get them too far separated, because they're 2 squares faster per turn than the rest of your team, so they could get pretty far isolated quickly if you don't pay attention.
Yep. He's got exactly the doubles that Norse want. He's got a double for dodge on both Berserker. He's got a double for guard and mighty blow on the runners. Really nice stuff.
Yep.
Probably going to see Flying Dog pick up mighty blow maybe. Could go with Stand Firm, as he is a support guard piece.
Mm-hmm.
And on Frenzy, it's not bad to prevent counter surf, so you've got higher movement Frenzy pieces. Oh no, you don't. Berserkers have the same movement as Ulfs.
Yep.
Never mind.
I would consider Stand Firm there, but we don't know what he's planning on taking. But both Ulfs with block guard is great. Block guard, strength 4 pieces. It's awesome. And then the Yeti has got block too. So the whole team has block.
It's real nice.
So many double big guys.
National Bohemian probably gets mighty blow on a normal. If it's a double or a stat up, you could do some interesting things. You don't necessarily have a dedicated ball carrier yet. Berserkers do make decent ball carriers if they get the right skills, but the runners are the obvious choice with their agility access.
Yeah, jump up is surprisingly good for that, because if you ever have to potato and somebody like sacks you when you're near the end zone, you don't actually lose your movement by being knocked over, so they can still be reasonable scoring threats if that happens. Man, and just another big guy with block. Like, every big guy in this division has block. Like, every one of them. It's really annoying.
My guy doesn't.
You're not in this division.
I know. I almost was. I was almost in Div 7.
Average Race Joes haven't played their game yet, so they look exactly the same as they did before.
Boring, as we say every week, because it's just like a good lizard team. He's got an Agi Skink, he's got a Blood Step Skink, he's got a Diving Tackle Sidestep Skink.
Yeah.
He's got exactly 3 guard, 6 block, 2 mighty blow.
Boom.
Yeah. It's a thing.
Like this.
Some of those. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this lizard team looks like somebody built it for a tournament, right? Like, if make yourself a 1650 lizard team.
But
boom.
you say literally every week.
It looks good, but there's not much we can say because his game hasn't been played yet, so there hasn't actually any really development compared to last time.
Yep. And then we have Ragedorf by Unseen Walker. Number 2 in the division right now, right behind MyStays. Though Average Rice might take that spot. His team is gross. He's got a ton of dodge dwarves. He's got a plus strength dwarf. He's got so much guard stand firm. Really annoying to fight. He's even got a sacker runner, wrestle strip ball.
That's really good.
Super good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of dwarves will do this. They'll have the ball carrying runner and then the defensive runner. And he's got both of them leveled up with basically all the skills you want. Tackle probably on the wrestle strip ball guy maybe. Not that it really matters anymore because of strip ball. And then the runner has got block. Like, perfect. What else do you take? Kickoff return, hope for agi. But how many guard stand firm is that? 4? And then one of them is even blodge guard stand firm. Strength 4. Like, that's the most annoying dwarf in the unit. I think this is
every single guard is stand firm, which is just like so good.
The only way you could make this dwarf more annoying is if he had like foul appearance. Not possible, but block, guard, dodge, stand firm is the most annoying player in the universe. Oh my god.
Yeah, and plus strength. Don't forget the plus strength.
Yeah, just to make it even harder to block him. Sure, why not? There's only two dwarves on this team that are even like remotely vulnerable to things, or 2 longbeards, right? There's 2 that don't have guard or dodge or stand firm, and one of them is mighty blow. Oh dear. The only downside is you've got a rookie troll slayer basically, so he's going to be a target because he's armor 8 and doesn't have like the mighty blow to hit you back with if you just push him around.
Yeah, I mean, as we said during the game, it's a good thing that this tackle Tomb Guardian is doing work against these dodge dwarves.
Yeah, this dwarf team is really good. No wonder he's second in the division. Economy of Scale and Furl, another lizard team. Oof.
This is the better one, though he did win the lizard off. He
did.
What did we predict? Why don't I have it here?
Economy of Scale. He was against the Khemri.
No, it was last week, wasn't it?
No, he played Khemri.
The lizard off. Yeah, the lizard off. Economy of Scale versus Dead Rest Society. We just didn't watch it. But yeah, that was
2 weeks ago.
Game that, yeah. Or 1 week ago, but yes.
Right, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, so doing well, picking up wins, even though his Saurus are in sorry shape. He's definitely leaning on Slibbly really heavily, which is understandable. Slibbly is an amazing Saurus.
And you're going to get him pretty often against all the other teams in this division, being 1320 ATV. It's a movement Croxagore.
It is. It always was. It's been the American Dream has had plus movement for a while.
Yeah, I just think it's funny. The Frenzy guy has block, which makes him a little bit better. And then only one other block is sad. Like, yeah, we need more Saurus development, and sometimes that's hard to get if you're already playing down TV because you want to like take the wins where you can get them, or you want to rely on Slibbly to do work for you, and then you rely on him instead of your own Saurus, and you don't really get the SPP. It can be hard to level them when you're behind, but you need to focus on it a little bit.
I mean, like when you get to your turn and one of the most reliable blocks you can make at the start is with a star player, like things have gone a little off the rails.
Yeah, it makes it difficult to level the other players when you like rely on star players and stuff that much. But you need to if you want to win games. So I guess it depends on what your philosophy is. If you get to like 3/4 of the way through the season and you know that you're not going to make playoffs, you might consider just starting to play for development, or to make those Saurus handoffs and stuff instead of the safe skink touchdown, just to see if you can get some
taking
levels.
those both downs on 1 and 9 instead of re-rolling things like that.
Yeah.
1 minute has taught me how scary 1 and 9 blocks are. I was in a game the other day, and it was like I was basically like toe to toe in a line with a bunch of peasants because the other guy was playing a full peasant team with my chaos team, but I had 0 re-rolls and no one has blocked because my team can't get blocked, among other things.
I mean, he's doing well. He's in like 4th in the division right now, so it's very unlikely that he can start to play for development.
No, he's still got to consider that the wins are important for sure, because like he's still absolutely in the running.
Oh yeah, so far. But I don't want to like downplay that or anything. I'm just saying that if you happen to get to like week 10 and you've realized you've dropped some positions or whatever, then you can think about that. But for now, keep playing well. You're doing well, even with a team that's got not as much Saurus block as you would like. Foul target. Speaking of decimated teams, here is the team of 6 players. It's a 6-player team that's still 1180 TV because what else? In Jeff's foul targets, we got the standard strip ball word answer. We've got another word answer who's got frenzy, sidestep, and plus agi, so he can easily recover the ball after the other one strips it. He can be a good surf threat. Hello, cat. And then he's not really easily counter surfed with sidestep.
Oh, it's Jeff's team. I have a meme for this.
Okay.
There we go. This is Jeff's team in action.
Guess I'll die.
I mean, it's not appropriate as he is obviously not Skaven, but it's the same thing.
One catcher, unfortunately, is out of the 4 that you could possibly have. But yeah, this is very much heading towards Squiggy mode. A couple really good players and then loners. Like, the catcher is good. I mean, blodge step, diving tackle. He's like an annoying defensive piece, certainly. And then thrower is also really good at like you have the tools you need to like win here. You've got a catcher, you've got a strip ball word answer, you've got an agi 5 thrower with accurate. So like those 3 and a tree. Strip ball with the word answer, pick it up with the thrower, throw it to the catcher, score, repeat.
Yep, win games.
So it's still totally winnable, despite only having 6 players, just because the 6 players you have are good. The block tree is really nice too. We've talked about that before. Just the reliability is nice. That could have been a strength tree though.
He can afford a new catcher. I think catchers are what 90K. I think so. He can afford a new one, and you might consider picking up another catcher and start leveling that.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. It's a strength 2 piece rather than a strength 3 piece that you get for free out of the loner, but you do want to level them. You do want to get some more levels on players, certainly. The other thing you could consider is just holding on to this, the cash, and then if any of since you're going to have, 5 loners, one of them is like, it's basically a 50-50 for one of them to get MVP. So you can just save the money and buy whichever loner gets MVP, and that way you have a guy who's like 1 SPP away from leveling or whatever. Is the thing you could do as well. And yeah, he's got good players, and he has a blade of lineman armor. I think I would keep the money for now, and if any one of the lineman loners that you get levels up, you could consider purchasing him. But if not, hold on. I need to like mute Discord or something because I'm getting 1,000 messages and it's being very annoying on stream.
Oh, it's probably me talking to Cake in the side window.
It is. Because Discord normally goes into like streamer mode when I have OBS open, but for some reason it is not doing it. Yeah, welcome to the life of people who get a lot of Discord pings. Bling, 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 bling. Right. Moving on.
I don't think you understand what a lot of Discord pings are like.
I have every server muted.
College kids are a needy bunch.
I mean, yeah, when they ping admin, I get it too.
You don't get them sliding into your DMs, though.
Nope, I don't. All orc and no play is got a pending level up on orc, the plus movement blitzer. One of the black orcs got strength.
Black orcs with strength are good.
He's a troll,
Orcs.
but better.
Yep, orcs desperately want more pitch presence, so.
Bunch of guard block black orcs, perfect. Guard blitzer, guard. This guy we've talked about before, and how he's kind of weird. Orc with 4 exclamation marks. He is both a killer and an annoying guard piece. I mean, but the mighty blow is probably just to accelerate leveling more than anything else. But this is a very pitch control-y orc team rather than a punchy killy orc team, which is fine because you've got the black orcs to accomplish that with all the guard and the strength one.
Yeah, I mean, and his record is a testament to being absolutely fine as he is 12-5-2.
Yep. So we need to do predictions now.
We do.
Well, BioWare for life, and all orc no play. So the control orcs that we just talked about versus the vampires. It's actually interesting. If they were killy orcs, I would say orcs 1,000% of the time. But the strength 5 or the guard can kind of be neutralized by hypnogaze. So it's actually slightly easier for the vampires than it would be if it was like a punchy killy orc team. At least in my opinion. Because you sort of try to neutralize the guard or whatever with hypnogaze, and that can work a lot better than just having all your thralls killed.
Yeah, I mean, if they had a Mighty Blow spam, they would be better off against Vamps, but I still think that Orcs are a terrible matchup for Vamps.
I mean, I still think the Orcs are going to win, but I think it's not as clear-cut as it would be if it was a differently built Orc team.
Yeah, if he was playing like Lord Teton's team, it would be a different story.
Yeah, I mean, this could... I'd say this is like, 70-30 Orcs, but if they were like... It was like Lord Teton's team, it'd be like 90-10 Orcs, right? So Rouge's Gallery and the Hufflepuff Heroes... So this is Khemri and the Chaos Dwarfs. Oof. Khemri get like 200k.
I still give it to the Chorfs. Kill Chorfs versus... I mean, like, regen might be an absolute unit, but it's not gonna... Like, any removal on a Tomb Guardian just causes, like, an immediate death spiral.
Yeah, and there's enough guard that they'll be able to deal with the Tomb Guardian strength, I think, easily enough. Like, they can't just shove Tomb Guardians places and be like, haha, now you can't block things, because the dwarves have enough guard that they'll be able to sort of counteract that.
Yes. The Chorfs have, what, 4 or 5 guard?
Yes.
4. Because they're missing one of them. So less than they normally have, but yeah, they can't just... And also a lot of the guard is Claw. So 2 of the guard is Claw, rather. So if you just shove Tomb Guardians against, like, guard pieces, you're just going to get clawed in the face.
Yep. So, yeah, I think I want to go with... as much as I love the Hufflepuff Heroes, I think I want to go with Rouge's Gallery there.
But they haven't... Oh, no, actually, he will have 5 guard barring deaths in his game, because he still hasn't played his game this week.
The Bad QB Squad and the Fogmire Fen Beasts. So we've got the Underworld team and Rolling Red's Lizards.
Well, the armor isn't going to do you anything, that's for sure.
No. Well, yeah, this could come down a lot to... If Dark Blake Bortless is left to roam free on Saurus, he could certainly win this game, like, solo. But he's basically the only thing that allows the undead to win, or the underworld to win this game. Like, if he goes out, which is pretty likely considering he's niggled, the lizards will then stomp all over these underworld. Like, they just outstrength them so hard. Like, the horns doesn't really help when there's strength 4 everywhere.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a tough one for the underworld. With some lucky LOS hits and some lucky removals, like if the troll, say the underworld attack first, and the troll and the blitzer get a removal on Saurus turn 1, then, like, you're looking pretty good. But barring that, the attrition is very quickly going to go the other way. Yeah,
and like, basically the moment that blitzer goes out, you lose. Right? Like, as soon as you lose that Skaven blitzer, the lizards are going to run all over you because they have nothing to be scared of anymore. Until then, he's even a threat, like, just with lizard positioning, right? They're going to want to expose Saurus slightly less potentially than they would if he's nearby, because he's such a big threat to the Saurus.
And again, the underworld have 0 tackle, so the skinks and the 2 blodge Saurus are going to be a big problem.
Yep. So I'm going to give that to Rolling Red. Respectable gents in the Dead Wrestler Society. So we've got Chaos times Chaos and Drenar's Lizardmen.
Oh god, the lizard's gonna absolutely pummel the Chaos. The guard differential is bad. No claw. The mighty blow differential is, like, roughly even, I think.
The two strength 5 Chaos Warriors certainly help a bit, but, like, that's 3 big strength pieces versus 6 big strength pieces.
I mean, the lizards also have 2 strength 5 pieces, and they have
true.
More guard, break tackles for mobility,
and there is the tackle dodge beastman, but without block or, like, mighty blow, he's not going to be incredibly useful at removing skinks. He's just slightly more reliable at, like, knocking them down, but it's essentially the same as block because he doesn't have both.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I
The
think
Block Mighty Blow one, like that one could absolutely annihilate some skinks, and like he might get some good SPP from that, but I don't think it's going to be enough, especially down a Chaos Warrior. He does get some inducements. He's got what, 9 players? He's got 9 players, so he gets 2 Rookie Beastmen, which are
120
60K a pop. So he's at
1480.
1480 versus 1740. Yeah, and that's actually TV 1740. So he does get a lot of inducements. What do Chaos even have? He could get that Chaos Warrior, the Despoiler.
I don't think he has enough because
he's. Oh no, yeah.
Because he's at like what 2? He gets like 280.
He gets no, he gets 260.
260. Okay, no, I don't think that's enough.
I don't know how much Borak the Despoiler is.
He's like 3 something.
He is a strength 5 Chaos Warrior.
Yes, with Dirty Player for some reason.
He's 300k.
Yeah.
So you don't want to blow your money on that. You might get.
You get the Chainsaw, Max Spleen Ripper, because he's 100.
Yeah, Max.
And that's
Spleen Ripper
it's
is
another
fine.
Chaos Warrior because he's strength 4, and you get the Chainsaw that you could use against either the Skinks or the Saurus, or for fouling, and you could get a bribe even with the because he's 130. So if you get 240, you could go Chainsaw and bribe, which might actually not be bad.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
But
He doesn't have block or anything else though, so he's a big target. If he goes down, he's armor 6, right? So he's armor 5 because he's only armor 8.
I still think it's a good idea, but regardless, I think I want to give that to Lizards. But I think the Chainsaw is probably a pretty good way to try to steal a win.
It's not bad. Yeah, and there's nothing else you can really get.
You can get Lewd Grip Whip Arm.
You could almost get Brick Farth, who I've literally never seen picked.
He comes with Grotty.
He does. Good for him.
I mean, you can throw. Basically, you get the ability to throw teammate 1-turn touchdown on Chaos or Nurgle, which you normally can't because of Brick Farth. And he even comes with Strong Arm, so he's slightly better. And Grotty is Agi 4, so he's even slightly better at landing. Like, it's actually not bad, but it's like taking a star player essentially for the purposes of trying to 1-turn, and there's better things you can do for 290k. But like, he's actually surprisingly good at 1-turning because Agi 4 and Strong Arm and stuff. But there's better things you can do with 300k than that, I think. One day I'll do it because I think it's fun. But
there you go. So we're giving this to the Lizards.
Yes. Ooh, we have an elf off.
Yeah, spoilers, my states is going to win.
Probably, yes. In the elf versus elf matchup, the team with better elves will probably win that. We got guard elves. We don't have a strip ball elf, I guess. And we don't actually have like a mighty blow elf or anything, so he won't really be able to do stupid elf things, but he has the 1-turner and he has more guard, whereas Jeff has more agi. It could actually be fun to watch because like
that'll be a good match. And I think have we already watched one of Jeff's games? I feel like we have.
I think we have.
We've definitely watched one of my stays' game.
Yeah, but that could be a fun one to watch. Like more agi versus more guard, but the 1-turner also makes a pretty big difference there because they're both going to be encouraged to score like kind of quickly, and then just having the 1-turn ability makes a significant difference. And what is Jeff gonna get for inducements though? He gets 5 linemen and they're what, 70 each? So it's what, 300, another 350? So he'll be at 1530. Oh, wait. So they're similar? How does that even make sense?
I mean, neither of them have developed linemen, really.
I guess that makes sense. But, okay. So they're going to be at similar TVs, but Jeff is going to have way more loners. Yeah, MyStays has...
Agi is expensive, yo.
Yeah.
And block, the double on the treeman.
Mm-hmm. MyStays has the 1-turner. He's got more guard. Jeff has the block treeman, which certainly will be useful. And the more agi players. So, I mean, it's hard to count Jeff out, honestly, here.
No, I think it's going to be a good game. And I shouldn't, like, I'm not actually as confident as my initial assertion might have been. Like, it's going to be an interesting game, but I think ultimately MySpace has more developed pieces, and that's going to be hard for Jeff to deal with, because any removal that MySpace gets is like either shedding away armor that these pieces have, or is a removal of one of these useful pieces.
Yeah. Honestly,
oh no, MySpace is 1540, but he's going to have 2 loners, so he's going to be at 1660.
So Jeff gets a wizard.
Jeff does get a wizard, and
well, he can scum a wizard for 10k.
Wizard. What else like wizards?
Especially when you have Agi 5. I don't know, man.
Why don't you pick your boy Jeff, and we'll have a throwdown.
Why not? Let's go with Jeff. They're both good elf teams, but I think Jeff, the loners will hurt him, but the Agi will certainly help him out elf another elf team. So I think that could be a thing that matters.
I'll bring back what you talk about Norse versus lizards.
Sure. Wait, you're right. Great cold ones and economy of scale. So we've got Eisenmike's Norse versus Furl's Lizards. The slightly underdeveloped Lizards, 1320, 1670. They're gonna get Slibbly again. How many players? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 11 for the Norse. Furl has 10, so he's really at 1380. So he gets 290. Is that what is Slibbly? Less than that? I think he is. He's 220 or something. 230, 250. So he can still get Slibbly without a problem. This is a good question. So there's more guard. We've got a couple strength. There is the claw mighty blow block, which could be useful. There's not a whole lot of... Basically, I think this comes down to Slibbly, right? There's not a lot of development on Furl's team. But it's enough to get Slibbly for this matchup, which I think certainly will help. Coming up. I don't really know what I want to... Like, I feel like I want to... Like, my gut wants me to say Lizards, despite all of the guard and block and stuff that exist on the Norse team. Although there are four dodge. Is there any tackle on Furl's team? There's none. All right. I think I want to give this to Eisenmike, despite the potential of Slibbly. I think I want to give this one to Eisenmike because of he has the development that I don't think the Lizards can really deal with. We also do have the Dauntless, and we have 2 Strength 4, and we have the Strength 5 and the Claw. So I think I want to give this to Eisenmike. Don't tell Shadorra when he comes back, so that he has to come up with his own reasoning. And then we have the average. We'll have to get him to predict when he returns from whatever he's doing and stop being an empty chair. We have the average Race Joes and Rage Dwarf. So we've got the average Rice Joes with average Rice and the most average Lizard team, who hasn't actually played this week yet. Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I predicted a team for Norse versus Lizards. Who do you predict?
What do you predict?
Oh, you gotta tell. I'm not gonna tell you.
The Norse are gonna win.
That's what I said. Although the Lizards do get Slibbly, but I don't think it's enough.
Norse are pretty good versus Lizards, especially Lizards with only 1 mighty blow.
And there's no tackle, and there's like 4 blodge players.
That's gonna be really hard for him to deal with those.
Yep. So we have average Race Joes and Rage Dwarf. Rage Dwarf, man, like that team is just so good. I don't know if I can bet against them.
Lizards are traditionally good against dwarves, though.
That's true, certainly. We don't know what average Rice is going to get for development or whatever, because he hasn't played this game from this week yet. And there are 2 Saurus that are 2 or 3 SPP away from leveling, the Mighty Blue Block guys, so they might want to get Tackle to deal with his Dwarf dodge.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
And they have the Agi Skink, which is fast and can outrange the Dwarves, but like, if the Dwarves can get the Lizards into the sort of scrum fight, the Dwarves will win because they have Stand Firm and Guard. Even if it's all the Dwarves versus all the Saurus are going to fall over. There's just too much Guard and too much Stand Firm and too much dodge and all that the Dwarves have.
Yeah, we'll see. The average Race does have 3 Guard, one of which is Stand Firm. So you think the Dwarves are going to win?
I mean, Lizards are certainly good against Dwarves, especially because the Skinks can just outrange them. But yeah, I think I want to give this to the Dwarves.
Cool. I'll give it to the Lizards to remain contentious.
Neat. There we go. That is Div 6. Shall we move to Division 7?
Yes, Queen.
Boom. Let's look at the results from last week. This one may be a bit faster, because this was an admin win. Rotting Snatches over Armor Furnace. The Nurgle Warrior with 51 SPP picked up MVP to put him at 50. Warrior leveled because of MVP. Moving on. Which is good. Norse Unleashed versus the Werewolf of Wall Street. So, in what is apparently what happens every time, you predicted Norse, I predicted Necro, and they tied. Every time. Every time we do this.
Yep. Except for the week before last, where I gained like 40 points.
Yeah, to make it exciting. Loner lineman who got injured picked up MVP, so he probably doesn't exist, sadly. The Wrestle Kick zombie got MVP and leveled, so you have a level 3 zombie, which is not really good, honestly. You kind of want to keep the kick, but you don't really want a level 3 zombie.
He's eaten 5 MVPs.
You fire him for that, I think. You're stealing the MVPs from other people. So let's see. 6 casualties sustained, 3 KOs, 5 KOs, 6 casualties, and a death sustained. So the Necro were sort of able to out-remove the Norse. Armor 7 doing a thing.
The Nurgle or the Necro also made more blocks, so it looks like they might have had a bit of the tempo. They made 11 more blocks.
But the Norse managed to steal a touchdown from somewhere, whether this was like a 1 touchdown on each half kind of thing, and they were just defensive enough that they weren't able to prevent each other from scoring.
There were stabs. Did they have what's her face?
Potentially. Zara? Presumably.
Looking.
I think it's the only stab they can get.
Must have been.
Pretty sure that's the only stab.
They had Zara the Slayer. Yeah. Fun times.
Yeah, that's the only stab they can get. So, and that's good against undead. So maybe that helps certainly. The stab worked 2 of 5 times, but stab is good against ghouls.
And I mean, it's even good against armor 8.
Oh, this is Necro.
Yeah, 2 of
so
5 is about
ghouls.
average. So there are ghouls sometimes,
Yeah.
but 40% is the expected rate you'd get using it on armor 8 rather, because of what are they called? Stakes.
Yeah. And Zara can stab. She's not just a good player. That's a meme. It's a meme from the playoffs. She's not just blodge.
Yeah. Blodge strength 4. She's pretty good even without the stab stakes, to be honest.
Yep.
Then we have Yeti to Conquer and Wood United. We predicted the Norse would win, and lo and behold, they did.
Apparently we're good at this. Injured catcher gets an MVP, which is a little sad. Thane.
Is he actually injured? No, he's fine. He was just badly hurt.
Oh, okay. Thane Thunder Thighs, the runner, picks up MVP, so he's close to leveling. Let's see. Yep. That explains that.
Had the ball 0% of the game.
9 KOs, 5 casualties, and 2 deaths sustained means the Wood Elves got beaten into the ground and stayed in the ground.
Iron Master just every time, man.
Yep. 44 blocks, and you removed 17 players.
The Wood Elves failed
Or 16?
61% of their armor rolls, so that kind of tells that story.
Yeah. The elves very well may have been pitch cleared at some point here. Like, they just got beaten into
Kind of looks
submission.
like it. Yeah, I mean, it looks like they just got utterly annihilated.
Yeah, a lot of SPP. Drax Pavement Pounder especially picked up a bunch, but that's unsurprising because he's a killer player in a match where you're very capable of killing things. So I expect he got a lot of those injuries and stuff.
They made 14 KO rolls.
Oof. And how many of those came back?
7 out of... It was exactly good.
Oh, okay. Well,
So if they had a babe, then they're feeling kind of annoyed. Jesus.
So the Crawdad Zydeco experience and Archangel's Will. We predicted humans, and it was a tie. So this is where we're both wrong, weirdly.
God damn it. The one time we started backing the humans.
I know. Ogre gets MVP, so he's one Kaz away from leveling, which is kind of cool. Armor Busted Catcher gets MVP and levels, sadly.
Oh, God damn it, Doof. You let me down. I looked ahead. You monster. I voted for you.
I know. I watched that game. He streamed. He streamed it, and I watched it. I mean, it's. I'll put it this way. It's exactly how you expect a Doof versus Teton game to go.
They hit each other for a while.
And Doof did a Doof thing at some point.
Good times.
So yeah, we got a tie here. Good amount of SPP on both sides.
Lots of blocks on both sides too. The humans almost getting out blocked by Wood Elves.
Yeah, stab is good, man, especially from Zara on undead or necro teams where you have lowish armor but like dodge and block, and they get the +1. 1 KO, 1 Kaz, 4 KOs, 3 casualties, and an interception.
Once again, Wood Elves making about 60 or failing about 60% of their armor rolls. Seems to be the thing. Used their chainsaw all of once and then got expelled. Oh no, wait, that was the Wood Elves. The Wood Elves had a chainsaw? Neat.
Oh, did they?
Yep, they used it once though, so didn't work out.
What chainsaw can the Wood Elves get?
Can't they just get the human?
I don't know.
The humans failed miserably at picking the ball up. They failed 5 times out of 3.
I don't think the elves can get one.
They must be able to. There are chainsaw rolls on both sides? What? Oh, he had a chainsaw, but why does it show you have a chainsaw roll? That must be a dice log bug.
I don't... Oh, that's the wrong Wood Elf one.
Don't worry about it. So yeah. Looks pretty standard. I don't see any outrageous rolls other than his armor.
So Mesozoic Mighty Men and the Rotterhood?
Yeah.
So Kakengrad and Galactic, we predicted Galactic, and Kakengrad won. Although, if from what he talked about, or he complained about this game afterwards. Well, didn't complain, but he talked about this game afterwards, and it certainly cost him a lot to win this game with 4 casualties and 2 deaths sustained.
There's only 2 skinks. They don't count.
Were the casualties serious ones? Do we know? I guess we'll
I
find
don't.
out. But he took a lot of damage for this, but he managed to win 1-0 somehow. Squeaked that one out.
Wow, holy shit. Foul appearance not doing a thing. Cake succeeding 20 out of 21 times.
Oh, jeez. 95%.
His armor was trash, though. 20 out of 13 means there was some Zoras going down, but there's some Claw Mighty Blow in play, so that'll do it.
Cake rolled double the amount of 6s than any other dice other than 3s.
Doesn't necessarily mean good things. It really depends.
No, but that's just funny.
Did really well on dodges. Yeah, I know his dodges were on fire, too. Foul appearance and dodges were very high.
1 pickup.
That's the lizard way, man. 1 pickup. That's all you need.
Reminds me of the semifinal, the World Cup semifinal game that just happened where Ornan won with 0 pickups.
0 successful pickups, at least. He failed 6 in a row.
Yeah.
And then he blitzed with the character named after me, who KO'd an orc and caught the ball in the bounce back.
Yep, good enough. Can't pick it up, can catch, though. Finals for that are tomorrow, by the way. You guys should all show up and cheer on Ornan, our boy from REBBL.
Yep, tomorrow at 16:30 UTC, I think, or CES. I'm not sure.
It's 14:30 UTC. It's 16:30 CEST or whatever. So it's
Tomorrow morning for us.
Yeah, it's like noon-ish or whatever, right? It's 1:30 p.m. my time.
Yeah, it's 4:30 my time, or noon. 12:30.
Yes.
Jesus, words.
Words are hard, man.
Yep,
Cake
tough
won.
game for the Lizards, but Cake won.
Yeah, it was cost him a lot, and I imagine he just sort of like snuck at a touchdown somewhere while there was a giant fight going on because they were both pretty beaten up. But it cost the teams dearly to play in that one. And then we have Friendship is Massacre, Morally, and the Scaled Measures. And here we predicted Undead, and the Undead won. So Morally's doing really well. Twilight Slaughter the Ghoul picking up MVP and leveling from that. So Agi, Blodge, Sure Hands, he'd be able to pick up something
Probably
else.
sidestep.
Unless you got a double or something. So let's see. 41 blocks versus 40 blocks. Undead out bashing the Lizards a little bit there. Like mostly just in terms of KOs, but if the Lizards take a couple KOs, your Skinks are slightly more exposed, so then they can take a couple KOs, et cetera, and it can snowball from there. So a couple more removals on the Lizard side is worth a lot more than a couple removals on the Undead side, because, zombies are a thing. It's okay if a zombie gets removed. If a Skink or a Saurus gets removed, it's less good. So I would imagine a fairly typical-esque 2-1 grind there for Morally.
Yeah,
Except
it kind of looks like it. Scaled Measured had some rough things. They passed 12 dodges, which is pretty nuts for Lizards, and 8 GFIs. Good stuff. Failed 5 pickups, which is a big problem with Lizards sometimes. He has an Agi 4 piece, so that means there was some shit going down.
Yeah, maybe you should have picked up with Saurus at some point when the game was maybe a bit more under his control.
Maybe. Didn't work out, though.
Nope.
But you don't usually try to pick it up to the Lizards. You try to... whatever, it's fine. Yeah, so next up is the Orc-Off. Doof versus Lord Teton.
And I predicted Lord Teton, you predicted Doof, and Lord Teton pulled this one off. So the only difference, I think, for this week in terms of points total is this one game.
You are right.
And everything else we either predicted the same or we're both wrong on.
Which I think means we're now tied or very nearly tied.
I think I might be ahead by 1. You were ahead by 2 points somehow.
Okay, so now you're ahead by 1.
Yeah.
Lord Teton got more armor breaks, 9-5. He's got more mighty blow. It's not super unexpected. 53-57, so pretty even punching game. 2 KOs to 3 KOs. Very similar. The Orcs just hit each other and nothing happened.
For the most part, yeah. And then at some point, one of them managed to get a hold of the ball and score with it, whether that be from like a potato or a breakaway or like taking advantage of a mistake or something. One team was able to get a touchdown and the other one was not.
Lord Teton had a wizard, it looks like, and succeeded his lightning bolt. So Doof ate a lightning bolt probably at a terrible time, which caused some issues. Both teams had super hot armor. Sons of Sam making 90% of their armor rolls, and Doof making 80%.
It's the lightning bolt is a weird thing in that Doof rolls the lightning bolt even though Teton uses it.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. It was used by Teton against Doof.
Right. And Ripper did work that game. Like Ripper was induced for Teton, and Ripper did really well at like tying up orcs using the grab and stuff. Like in a bash versus bash like sort of matchup like that, having the strength 6 and grab made such a difference for Teton and able to control where the players were so that he could do what he wanted.
Both teams had hot block dice, which is what I'd expect. So both teams had hot block dice and hot armor dice. So, or rather, like they didn't fail armor rolls. Oh. So this is what I expected. Like they both just punched and knocked each other over when they had the momentum, and worked out really well.
Yeah, I watched. I like quote watched this game. Doof was streaming it, and I had it up on the other monitor while I was doing something else. So I didn't really pay attention to it strongly, but I'd watched a bit of it, and like from what I could tell, like this game was like Ripper did massive amounts of work in this game, so it certainly helped. After that week, we see there's a bit of a split now compared to what it was before, although not much. We've still got like 8 teams that are in contention for the top here. It's almost easier to look at this from on the REBBL.net site, so I'm gonna go bring that up. Because we've got 3 teams all on 13 points. Cake, Ironmaster, and Captain Bubsy, or Morally, are all on 13 points. Cake's only at the top on TD differential. And then Rock Lobstrosity and Tommy Too Tall are both at 11 points, so they're 1 win away from being at the top. And then Archangel's Will, Galactic, and Teton are all 10 points, so they're 3 points away from being tied at the top. So the first 8 teams in this division are all within 3 points of each other, which is ridiculous that this division is this close.
Yeah. Our division was pretty close until this week when everyone decided to tie each other.
Yeah, that's true. But this one is, I think, the closest in REL, if not in REBBL. Currently, there's 3 teams with the exact same record at the top of the table, and then there's 2 teams right after that with the same record that are within a win of the top. It's pretty crazy. A lot of these teams may not have played each other yet. I'm not sure on the schedule there, but I imagine once they start playing each other, we're going to see some drastic changes here. But for now, we've got 8 players that are still really easily within striking distance without a problem here.
Yeah, for sure.
So a couple interesting weeks coming up, I would imagine.
Want to do the preview?
Yep.
Or the predictions out there? First up is
do you want to look at the teams first?
Oh, shit, you're right. Teams.
Yeah.
Getting ahead of myself. The predictions are the more fun part.
Yeah, fair enough. But let's look. It's easier to do the predictions once we've seen the teams.
Yep. Doof's Authorcs did not really gain any SPP last game because they only got an MVP, so there's not much to say. Still has the Gross Thrower, still has the really useful Support Blitzer, still has the nice Black Orcs, one of them being Stand Firm and Guard, the other just being Guard. Has another Support Blitzer that's Blodge, Mighty Blow, so kind of a bit of...
When did you lose William Shorkspear?
William Shorkspear ate a AV bust like 3 weeks ago, I think.
Okay. Doof played like all the top 4 teams so far. Well, that doesn't help. So potentially you can move up the table a bit, and if those top teams play each other, if they haven't yet, then we could see some more shifts.
And I played all the top 4 teams other than Ben.
I play the top 4 teams the last 2 weeks and the next 2 weeks.
Though I think I had good matchups versus the top 4 teams, so it was like less of an issue. Anyway, I'm not looking forward to my future games.
I play I'm in second, and you're in first, and the teams that are third and fourth are the next 2 teams that I play. So I could make things a lot nicer for you and me by winning.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to you and I at this rate. I mean, I actually at this point want you to lose, but it's spicier if you win.
That's true. I would like you to lose too. Sons of Sam, Lord Teton, another orc team. Blank Black Orcs, sadly, in the middle 2 there. So we have.
So both have eaten MVPs, so they're in very short periods of time. One's only been around for 6 games. The other's only been around for 7. They've both gotten the MVP they need to be Kaz ready, which is nice. Or even a handoff if he gets like a game where he's really in control. Yeah,
so Doof's Black Orcs are a little bit better than Teton's Black Orcs right now. There's more development there. But Teton's are about to catch up really quick, right? 1 SPP, like you said. And then we have solid Black Orcs. And you've got enough guard on the Blitzers that it's okay to like take block first on the Black Orcs now that the Blitzers have guard. Hello, Sharpie.
I'd be tempted to take some guard first Black Orcs here, honestly. 4 guard isn't enough for Orcs this TV.
Depends on, well, if you have block on the Black Orcs, you kind of need to take block on the other Black Orcs when you can already. Yeah. At least I think. Angel of Death still being an Angel of Death killer Black Orc. He was out for the last game, which allowed him to get Ripper, which made a big difference because this piece would be slightly less useful against Armor 9 everywhere, but against slightly squishier teams, Mighty Blow piling on Tackle Pro, real good. And then some support blitzers with the guard stand firm, and we got another one with guard stand firm, or with guard tackle, sorry. So you can be both defensive and offensive. Either position the tackle and guard in places where it's annoying, or blitz people with Mighty Blow tackle block.
Yeah, no, it's looking good. And I mean, he certainly wins any attrition game that they're like even 5 Mighty Blow can even do stuff against Armor 9, right? Like you can really add up quickly if you get a couple of lucky Kaz, a couple of lucky KOs. It's a good looking team.
Less good thrower than Doofs, but maybe he'll get plus agi next level because apparently that's how orc throwers work. You get plus agi like way down here,
or plus strength.
Yeah. Some if he doesn't get like plus strength or plus agi or a double next level, you probably recycle him. Honestly,
probably
there'll be a lot of TV, and you can just start developing a new one.
You could pick up leader. Does he have leader?
He doesn't currently have leader.
Leader.
That's true.
Cheap reroll.
Yeah, as long as you're flush with money and you don't need to buy anything new in case he dies or whatever, you could do that to save a little bit of TV. Drop a reroll and pick up leader on the thrower. Scaled measures by Not Nylock. The Agi 5 skink and block every time I see that.
Oh no, block is new. I'm pretty sure.
It is.
Yeah, because he's 71 is the level, so he just got a double. So now he's an Agi 5 blodge step sprint skink.
Yep, that's better than rocks.
No, Agi 5 isn't worth the TV to me, but
Agi 5. The Agi 5 doesn't really make that much of a difference on the stunty, to be honest.
No, it doesn't. So it basically affects pickups. He can just pick up the ball wherever he wants.
It's an expensive. It's an expensive extra arms.
Yes, he's 210k.
Yep, he's the most expensive player on that team, worth more than the Croxagore by 40k, and that Croxagore has block.
Yep. Got another has a plus movement skink as well, and has catch. So I think this was around last time we reviewed. Really good for one turning.
Four away from picking up something else. Yeah, if you.
The Agi 5 skink can pass. That's the other thing. He can, if there's a deep kick on a one turn attempt, he can theoretically pass to to Kermit the Frog.
It makes up for the stunty on the pass a little bit.
So he's basically an elf, like a normal elf.
Yep. And Kermit the Frog is on his way to being he's already a good one turner, but he can get a bit better with sprint or sure feet.
You go
ignore prehensile tail. I guess that's true for the very few cases where that matters.
Thanks, Holes.
You're contributing.
You can't pick up the ball, but you sure contribute to chat.
Another sidestep skink, standard skink level if you don't get doubles.
Skink, yeah.
And some Saurus.
One's AV busted and one is niggled. I think he had another Saurus that he's now recycled. No, probably not.
The one at the bottom, it was the one he bought from the open market. So he's had that niggle. He had the niggle when he bought him. And all the other ones, I like and he bought the leader Saurus too, didn't he?
Yep, both were from the market.
Yep. Leader Saurus, that's so funny. You get a double on a Saurus and your first thought is to pick up leader. I don't really understand that, but I mean it makes sense, I guess. Cheaper reroll. And
no, I think Saurus need all the skills they can get. I don't think taking leader on a Saurus makes sense.
I mean, if you didn't want to waste the double as a first skill, I guess, because dodge as a first skill on a Saurus is kind of dumb and every other skill doesn't matter. It's like the only double I can think that might be useful as a first skill on a Saurus. But I think you would probably ignore it in majority of cases and just take block. But he bought this, he didn't build it, so whoever built this, we can make fun of them, but we can't make fun of Not Nylock. Bunch of other sort of normal progressing Saurus, block, guard. One of them is Mighty Blow Tackle to be the sort of blitzer piece. Other ones are going to get a smattering of guard, Mighty Blow, and stand firm, and break tackle whenever they sort of level up. Two of them have taken guard so far, which is really good, so that puts you at 2. You'd love to have the Crocs to have guard, but I mean you can't pass up block. So in 3 SPP, which shouldn't be too bad. Two Kaz's away, or touchdown if you can pull that off. From
it's probably going to be LOS blocks.
From getting a 3rd guard piece, which makes a big difference. 3 guard is a lot better than 2, especially if you can get it on the strength 5 dude. So the Rotterhood and Galactic just played against Cake. He suffered a couple deaths and injuries, but I think they're mostly just Rotters. Might have lost to Pestigore because this guy looks like he's new.
I think he...
Nope, he played a match before. So.
He only lost Rotters on that. So still looking totally fine. You would think he was down one of his Claw Mighty Blow pieces maybe for that match, which made it tougher.
Yeah, but he's got two now. Two Claw Mighty Blow. One is a Chaos Warrior. One is a Pestigore. One has block. One does not. High Lord Rot of Rot Torg is starting with. He's played 11 matches, but he's only at the 1 level. So hopefully that Mighty Blow will help him catch up to the other ones. Accelerate the leveling process a bit. He can just go straight into like he can pop a owl it or whatever and just go straight Mighty Blow, like Claw, block to like catch up with the leveling. Whereas the other ones will probably start seeing some more guard first.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go block or guard, or block or claw rather. I think I'd be tempted to go block and just build him as a like another support piece.
I'd probably take Claw. Because you can make it'll make him level faster, and you can make the block Claw guys support pieces. Like you just take guard later, and it's fine. They're going to be around for a while. They're pretty tough. It disincentivizes people to do uphills against them and stuff because the Mighty Blow Claw. So like, and once you get that, you're probably not going to take piling on them because you don't want them on the floor. You're probably not taking tackle on them because by the time you get to the 4th or 5th skill where you would take tackle, you'll have tackle on your Pestigores who are going to be the ones doing the blitzing. So like you get Mighty Blow Claw. I think you get Mighty Blow block Claw in some combination, and then you start taking the like supporty skills to make them do both. On the Nurgle Warriors is what I think my plan is, and that's if you look at Metal's Chaos team or Nurgle team, his Chaos Warriors kind of follow that plan as well.
Yep, and then we have Archangel's Will by Archangel, a Wood Elf team that is not battered, though it does have 3 rookie catchers.
The is the armor bust on the ball carry Pestigore new, or is that? I mean, if it was this game, it would have been an MNG. But was it the game before that we wouldn't have reviewed this? Because his Agi 4 movement 7 guy, who's an amazing ball carrier, or on his way to being one, is also armor busted.
I think it is new.
Yes, so that's unfortunate, but you still keep him. Because if he's getting hit, you're doing it wrong, and you just bench him on defense, and so he's not going to get hit by stuff, and just bring in your dirty player Rotter instead, or one of the other Rotters or whatever. And then the other Pestigores are pretty standard. You'd like to get this guy leveled up if you can. Problem is the Agi ball carrier dude is probably going to eat all the SPP, but you could probably pull off a handoff at some point to get that rookie Pestigore leveled. Yeah, so Archangel's Will. Slightly less killed Wood Elf team than the other ones we've looked at so far.
I don't know. My Stasis team is doing pretty well.
That's true.
Not a ton of development for a 1760. 2 amazing War Dancers, both Mighty Blow Tackle. One is Strip, one is Sidestep.
Both, so good.
A lot of attrition potential for Wood Elves.
It's going to help you so much in Elf versus Elf matchups, and then like the Strip Ball helps you in like every other matchup. Those War Dancers are gross. 3, yeah, I mean, it's expensive, but you've got a whole bunch of positionals, right? That's 4 90k players that are rookies, right? Between the catchers and the thrower. It's, 100 or 270k between 3 rookies. Like, it's not cheap, man. And then the line, there's a surprising amount of levels on the linemen. 2 Blodge ones, 1 Raj Kick, which is good. I like that. You always want Kick on a lineman. And he's also, after he's done kicking, he can be your like sort of Raj wrestly piece. And then a guard one, although he's niggled, so he's not long for this world.
Yeah, but he's annoying and useful while he exists.
Man,
he really wants to level up these catchers. He's really close on 2 of them, just a couple of touchdowns. It's really easy to level catchers, so it's not too big of a deal.
It certainly is, yeah.
He doesn't have maximum elfy nonsense, but he does have a hell of a lot of bash for an elf coach.
It's got, like, this team are these War Dancers. Like, these War Dancers are ridiculous, and they will, like, win you games so easily. Just use them, throw stuff to the catchers, and you can level them up without a problem. Like, catchers hog SPP anyway, because they get all the touchdowns, so they'll in a week or 2, we'll probably see a couple levels on these guys. No problem. Iron Master and his 1910 Norse, who are just tearing apart people. Yeah, block Mighty Blow Yeti. I appreciate that this team is also like mostly organized. I like this. This is nice. Good job, Iron Master, on organizing your players.
Yep. Yeah, really good stuff. Has a Blodge runner. Only has one runner and one berserker. He might look to pick up another one of either of those. Maybe drop one of the linemen.
Man, who needs another berserker when you've got Drax Pavement Pounder? Look at that guy. Look at that guy. He is beautiful. That is a beautiful man.
It's true.
A beautiful speedoed man.
Most speedoed men. Yeah. Anyway, good looking team. Pick up Frenzy and a lineman, probably for memes.
Oh, he's also strength 4.
I know. I'm just messing around.
It makes frenzy traps a lot less likely and stuff because you've got kind of your own built-in assist against most normal players being strength 4.
I agree, but frenzy is a utility skill.
Yeah, and that's what linemen are for.
Specific. Yes, but you have a lot of frenzy on the team.
Oh, you have 4. Surf them from the middle of the pitch.
Now you have 5, but yes.
Yes, but if you're using like the Yeti as part of your frenzy like surf plays, you're using the Yeti wrong. Let's try to surf this guy with my loner wild animal dude.
Take risks.
Make mistakes, get messy.
Sure. What's that from?
Magic School Bus.
Ah, yes.
Thrower is a really good player too. Leader, sure hands, strength, dodge, tackle. Niggled.
He's very good. Yeah, he's gonna explode one day when someone touches him. But
until then, he's amazing. This is like no wonder this Norse team is taking people apart. Like this is a good Norse team. Like Drax Pavement Pounder in particular is going to take people apart. This runner, I think he just leveled in that last game, so he picked up dodge. So another Blodge player. I believe so.
Yeah, that was Thunder Thighs.
Yep.
Yes.
So another Blodge player.
Oh no, he was already dodge. Anyway,
okay.
Doesn't matter.
Strip wrestle. We got a strip wrestle lineman, which is kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, you can build Norse lineman to do all sorts of things.
Wrestle and block on the same player is a thing you don't normally see that often, but it makes sense on Norse because you get block for free.
Yeah, I can see the argument for it. I think it's a little bloaty. I might have just gone with strip tackle.
I mean,
and kind of accepted that you weren't going to get, the wrestle, but
wrestle is a good skill to have for like sacking purposes or whatever. Sure. And who else are you going to give it to on a Norse team? Because literally everybody has blocks, so no matter where you put it, it's kind of bloaty.
You don't give it to anyone because you automatically are paying for 2 skills at that point that don't ever do the same thing, or can't ever be activated at the same time.
Well, you can choose to take the block if you want to like knock somebody over, but if they have blocked themselves, you then just choose to use the wrestle, right? Like
yes, I know you can use both, but I mean 99% of the time you're using either block or wrestle, and you don't really care between the two.
I think 20k is worth a wrestle on one player on the team to be able to have the like safety strip ball player.
Yeah, I mean I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying you don't see it very often.
No, well, it's just, and I'm just saying that one of the only places that you will see it is probably Norse, because most other people will choose block or wrestle. But since this team, the entire team has block, you kind of have to see this combination if you get wrestle anywhere. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so good looking Norse team. Scary.
Sancho Strong needs DP. He needs another DP. I think if he's going to have a bench this big, he's going to want to foul all the time. And Wayne the Wicked will sometimes get sent off or sometimes be busy, so another DP would be really good.
Can never have too many DPs.
Wink.
Cunning Fox Pup and the Werewolf of Wall Street.
Oof, Agi busted Werewolf.
Oh no.
MNG'd at least. He's not niggled.
That's
Yay,
fine.
Not niggled.
That's fine. Just don't ball carry him on. Don't ball carry on him anymore.
Yeah, but dodging out after you make a hit sometimes isn't really necessary, and now he can't do it.
Yeah, so but you don't want to give up the mighty blow.
Agi down on Wolves. Sorry?
You don't really want to give up the mighty blow, though.
You don't. I'm not saying get rid of him. I am saying it's a problem. It's not a small issue.
It sucks, but I don't think you can get rid of him. I don't think you can.
I don't know.
I wouldn't, but it's also not ideal. I mean, in any case, you prefer your players don't get injured, but the Agi bus sucks, but I don't think it's bad enough to warrant firing him. Just because the block, mighty blow, dauntless, tackle, frenzy, claw hits are still good. Yeah, sometimes you have to dodge away wolves after like a failed blitz or whatever, but with tackle and block, It's 2 shots where they're most likely going to be 2 dice both times. The majority of the time, you're not going to have to dodge out afterwards.
Yeah, I don't love Juggernaut on Wolves, or not Juggernaut, Dauntless rather. I would have preferred to see dodge there.
Well, he would have had to get doubles, or no, he wouldn't have because werewolf. Duh.
Yes. So we did just finish talking about you, Iron Master.
Every time I read Runny Cut Murder, that is not how I read the last name. I keep trying to switch the M and the T, and then the M looks like an N. It's bad.
Not good.
Standing, not moving much, and brick wall Mick in the way. Unfortunately, we're down a flesh golem, but he's not dead. He's just out. Although it is one of your only 2 guard out for your next game, which is kind of unfortunate, and it's one of your your strength pieces, which is also unfortunate. But they're both block, which helps, and the guard one is really good if he's around.
Actually, that guard guy is new because he had no guard on his whites for a while, which we made fun of him for. So
more guard.
This is a really good development for him to have picked up, presumably 2 MVPs. No, actually 0. He's just scored some touchdowns and caused some chaos.
And murder, tackle good. Yeah, look at that. He is probably pretty good at murdering and tackling good with Mighty Blow, tackle, piling on in pro. And then we've picked up a bit of guard on Dead Guy Makes You Dead to, help out a little bit, to keep up with Brickwall and Fast McDodgy Guy, who is also an SPP pinata for someone, but you do not get rid of him because that guard is so good. One day he's just going to eat a Mighty Blow to the face and die, though, because of that niggle.
He's going to violently pop.
Oh, dear. Yeah, Cunning Fox pop. Okay. That makes sense. I can understand people yelling at you for that. Block zombie, dirty player zombie, wrestle, kick, tackle zombie. Oh, right. That's the zombie that has eaten 5 MVPs and he keeps leveling. I don't know, man. The kick is good, but that's a 100k zombie, and I don't think that's worth it. I think if you can get kick on a different zombie, you just fire that guy, because that's 100k on a zombie. Like, that zombie is worth as much as that white, and do you really think so? That he's... Would you rather a zombie with wrestle, kick, tackle, or a white with block guard? I would take the white every day. It's a lot of bloat. 3 skills.
I think the next zombie that levels, I would give him kick, especially if helium levels. But I wouldn't fire kick before I.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Try to get kick on another zombie, and then as soon as you do, just fire mix zombie and get a new one. I wouldn't. He's a lot of bloat, but you don't want to. You want to keep the kick around because it's a good skill. Yeah, that's what Cunning Fox Pop is saying in chat too. So, Rotting Snatches, 1800 Nurgle. Getting up there to the point with some scary Nurgles. Guard, Beast of Nurgle, who's 1 SPP away from leveling, and unless he gets doubles, he'll just take Stand Firm, because Stand Firm is super annoying on Guard, Tentacles, Foul Appearance players. Yeah, Malady Mickey doing the thing that I was sort of talking about, where you take like the kill skills first and then you turn them into support pieces afterwards. Bullet Tooth Tony being a strength 5 Claw Mighty Blow block player. Oof. That's... Yeah, you can take Tentacles and keep players stuck on your claw. Oh, man. He's going to be good too. Twisted Turkish the Second is, I would presume, newish. He's played 5 matches. He just hasn't managed to get a level yet, unfortunately. It's a problem with Nurgle sometimes is if you lose one of your developed warriors, you get one that's really far behind, and he's hard to catch up because the other guys are going to do all the blocks initially. Should you finally get your second Zerker? I mean, if you want to. Sure, you're already at 1900. Like, what can more bloat possibly do? The diving tackle in the Nurgle Warrior is... I don't know if I like it as much. Sometimes you'll see it on Chaos Warriors. But they're also faster than Nurgle Warriors. I think I like to keep my Nurgle Warriors on their feet, if at all possible. But diving tackle is a good skill.
It is. It's an interesting pick. He's going to get Stand Firm Guard, probably.
Oof.
Just to become like a really annoying support piece.
Yeah.
I don't know in what order. I'm tempted to get Guard first, because I like going control heavy with Nurgle, because they really need to play that game before they can start killing.
The guard Blodge Pestigore is really good, but he's movement 5, which sucks. a lot of your team is already slow. Those are your movement pieces, and just only having 3 movement 6 instead of 4 now makes a difference, especially since he's a piece you're probably going to want to reposition a lot because guard. But I don't think you can get rid of him because the double on the guard is good, and he's only 1 SP. He's 1 SPP from leveling too, so you might as well see what he gets. If he gets a double or something, or a stat maybe, but we'll see. And then we've got the ball carrier, who's niggled unfortunately, but I mean you milk him until he dies because Agi sure hands block.
I don't like that imagery. Could you dial it back?
You don't want to milk the Pestigore until it dies, like a dry, rotting Nurgle husk, devoid of all moisture. I'm done. And then we've got a killer Pestigore who's amazing. It's always good to have them. He's gone the all apple pies route, not taking block yet. He'll get there with the amount of casualties he'll cause. He'll pick up block next, probably, to be the tackle piling on dude. And then a dirty player rotter, squish, and all the rest are just sort of a blade of armor. Perfect. I like this Nurgle team. I mean,
it's a good Nurgle team.
It's expensive, but all good Nurgle teams are. Hiroto Sukara, 12-20 Norse. In a totally different Norse team, we have one that has no players.
Pulled out another goddamn draw this week.
Alexander the Greater. Oh, I like that. Well, Ulf with a miss next game, but at least he's the rookie one instead of the block mighty blow, break tackle one, who's also 3 SPP from leveling. So, what do we take? Probably guard because you don't have much, honestly.
Sorry, on who?
The Ulf who's about to level.
Yeah, he needs guard.
We got 2 berserkers, one with Agi, guard, and dodge. So he's a good support piece, and you really want to start trying to level the other one to go for the sort of mighty blow piling on removal route. A lot of stats on this team, right? He's got a good core with.
Yeah, he had the Agi Norse until he imploded.
Well, he's still got an Agi movement lineman who's like, is really good.
Or a blodge guard Agi berserker.
Yep. And there's the movement runner too for movement 8, who's also guard. Movement 5 runner, but he's kick dirty player, so that's fine. He'll kick stuff and stomp on people and probably get sent off, and the movement doesn't really matter that much. Problem is, being down this many players, you're basically always going to have loners, and you're very infrequently going to have a bench, but you will have inducement money that you can spend on bench linemen to keep fouling if you'd like, and that's probably something that's worth considering. These boys might hit the market, you say. Well, that runner and that berserker and that lineman could probably be worth picking up for some Norse team. Yeah, it's going to be it's hard, but he's got some good core here. Certainly, though, it can be hard to recover with Norse because you need the good players to keep your team alive, and if you lose players, they're just going to get even more lost because of all the armor 7. But some really good players there, and if they do end up on the market after the season, I'm certain there's some Norse teams that would be interested in them.
Yeah, for sure.
Slow, I guess we don't need to talk about.
We do not. He's gone. And then Luke 444 has had a rude
entry.
A rude entry into the league. Played 2 games since he got back and dropped about 300 TV.
Yep, he was at like 1900 before this, and now he's at 16. No more tree. Let's see. They're in no sort of order, which is annoying. Okay, so 2 ward answers at the bottom. We've got the typical strip ball tackle one, but he also has mighty blow, so that's even better. He can do double duty as both the ball removing blitzer and the regular blitzing blitzer, so he's going to be blitzing like every turn. And then the other one is sidestep, so now he's blodge step and tackle. Probably frenzy next, and you can start surfing pretty easily with him.
Yep. I think that's a good route.
Catchers,
I might have gone tackle frenzy instead of tackle sidestep, but tackle sidestep is more utility, like has a more all-purpose use than
and you'll want both.
Frenzy.
You'll want both. You don't really want to leave your ward answer on the sidelines if you can help it after surfing someone with frenzy, because he is a massive target there. So the sidestep I think is probably what I would take first, just because he's that way. You'll want the sidestep all the time when he has frenzy, and you don't want to play games with frenzy and not sidestep, I think. He only had leaf blower left at the end, and I left him alive and didn't foul him. Oh, how nice. So we got 3 catchers. So this one has got sure feet and sidestep, sort of typical catcher progression. I mean, some people will take block first, but you've got that up here on this sort of scoring catcher who's got sure feet, block, nerves of steel, sidestep, and sure hands. So he's good at recovering, good at picking up, good at catching and scoring and being a scoring threat without going over because block, sidestep, and even if you mark him, he's got that nerves of steel. And we got another one who's on his way to one turning.
To deal with. Yep. I mean, plus moving catchers are always the dream, right?
Yep.
Plus catchers, plus moving skinks, plus moving gutter runners. That's what you really want to see.
Yep. So 3 sort of different catchers there. Then a couple linemen. Sort of. There's a thrower who's picked up dodge rather than like a throwing skill. Keep him on his feet a bit, which makes sense, I think. Some people would just straight up start with accurate or whatever to do more passing, but he's more about being on his feet rather than passing. I like
the dodge pickup first on throwers.
I think it's good too. I think there's merits to both. Depends what we want to do with them, but certainly not wrong in any case.
And then there's Rock Lobstrosity, the human team who just had a bye this week, or no, has a bye next week. Yes.
Yeah.
Which he might need. He's pretty close to levels on a couple of people. I don't think the bye will get him a level, except maybe on the Ogre or on Bayou Billy. Both of those would be good. Any lineman level would be nice too. He could pick up some dirty player. Even a block lineman wouldn't be bad, but I'd love to see a dirty player lineman in here.
Yeah. Ogre's about to level. He got MVP in his last game he played, so 1 SPP, and we can get another Ogre skill. Hope for block.
Yep. Hope for block, probably stand firm, but block guard does work, as we've seen in the World Cup.
Yep.
Block guard ogres fucking everywhere.
Blitzer, we get a couple of blitzers doing the standard human blitzer thing where a couple are built for different reasons. Got 1 for surfing with frenzy plus movement. We've got 2 for support with guard. One of them is stand firm as well. And we've got the killer with mighty blow tackle piling on. So he's going to hope to get doubles to pick up jump up or dodge probably. The other ones are going to sort of go the sort of standard support, stand firm guard type route. 1 thrower who's gone for the stay on your feet route rather than the throwing route, which kind of makes sense when you're Agi 3 rather than 4.
And it looks like he lost a catcher because human teams can have 2, and he, I believe, had 2. So
this one has got diving catch as well, which he had before and we talked about, but I think it's kind of cool. Diving catch is
human
is
passing
a fun
games
skill.
is fun.
Yeah,
I really want to see it.
You're especially since he's not built around throwing. The inaccurate pass is a thing that can probably happen more than it can with elf teams, and the catcher allows you to still sort of take advantage of those inaccurate passes.
Well, as long as they land near you.
Yep.
I believe inaccurate passes scatter twice. Anyway, doesn't matter.
And a guard lineman.
And then we have Cake. Oh, yes, and a guard lineman who is close to getting block, which will make him much nicer.
Guard is always good when you can get it, and it's doubles there, so it's a good pickup.
Guard is good. Cake has a level, and it's Brachiosaurus Bill, and he's probably going to get Mighty Blow. I would get Mighty Blow. Talk to me about this level. I recommended he get Mighty Blow.
Mighty Blow or guard?
He's already got 2 guard. I think at this point you want it is, but you, as lizards, do want to eventually get a little bit of killing power. It's good to have.
Depends on who he's playing next. I think.
It's true that diving catch does give you a +1 on catches, so
yep, it
does have utility in that as well.
If he's playing like a control-y team where the mighty blow isn't going to make that much of a difference next, I would take guard. But if he's playing, because like he's got another Saurus that's 1 SPP from leveling, so like whichever one he takes now, he can just take the other one probably after his next game. Assuming things go well. So, I mean, I think I would take the skill that helps you win the next game on Brachiosaurus Bill, whether that be guard or mighty blow or what have you. And the other ones are looking good. I mean, block everywhere. 1 is strength, smattering of standard Saurus levels. 1 guard, 1 break tackle.
Yep, he's got the money to buy an 11th skink, though I would probably pass and keep the money around in case you lose a source.
Yeah, just
at 80k they're pretty pricey, and you don't want to be without one for a game. So
yeah, if you go above 150 from your next game, then just spend it on your 11th skink. Right, if you win and get 60k or whatever, just buy a skink and then go back to 100k and still fine.
It's weird that diving catch doesn't work for handoffs, as they are both catch rolls, but that's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's kind of more thematically appropriate. You're not going to dive to get a handoff, but whatever.
No.
Exactly.
Just dive into the guy right next to you. Guards stand firm crocs, so the 2 standard first big guy levels. And then some skinks with some skink stuff. One of them is really good. Block sure
One of them
hands.
is amazing. 2 doubles and a plus movement. That's disgusting.
Yep. And the other 2 are normal skinks, but who cares, right? Like all his other skinks forever are gonna do that, and are gonna just be like sidestep fired. Like maybe you might get sprint or like diving tackle on one or something, but for the most part your skink team is like a blade of skinks and Vinny, because he'll do all the work that all your skinks need to do forever, and the other ones can just kind of be pieces that are there. But yeah, another lizard team, some good players. And we've got lastly here, we've got Friendship is Massacre by Morally, Captain Bubsy. I want to see what that ghoul got. Sidestep, as expected. But that's a blodge.
100% accurate.
Blodge step, sure hands, agi ghoul. That is a good ball carrier.
It's perfect. I mean, what else do you give him? He's
Strength.
Sure.
If you roll strength, I mean, then he'd be even better ball carrier. But if with only
Strength
normals,
or movement, I would honestly consider plus AV on that player. I wouldn't take it, but I'd think about it.
I would take the movement over AV.
Yes, I would take the movement as well, it turns out.
I mean, you have all the skills you want to stay on your feet. If you could roll only stats from here on out, you would be happy. Like,
other than that, you don't really want him in the level, yeah.
plus strength, plus movement, done. Don't want anything else.
Easy peasy, movement 9, strength 5, agi 4, ghoul.
Yep. Mummies are the same as they have been before. Plus movement, guard, break, tackle, guard, block. Block, is the block new? I don't think the block is new, but the block is good, certainly.
Scootadoom?
On Pinky Die.
Oh no, he said that block mummy forever.
Okay. 2 whites that are the same as before with Mighty Blow. One has agi and one has guard. So you get 2 agi 4 pieces, so you can actually kind of do passing if you want to. And then the other one is the guard and blitzy kind of pieces. Then we've got the other 3 ghouls. One is going for the sacker. One has got guard, so he's a mobile guard piece with dodge, so that's amazing. He'll get block next to keep him on his feet. The wrestle guy will probably get tackle. Meme skeleton, best skeleton. Kick zombie, block zombie. Boom! I love this undead team. It's great.
It's very ideal, really.
Yeah, it's got all the like initial levels you want, plus the stats that you want to keep undead team competitive.
The thing it's really glaringly missing is tackle.
Yeah, that's true. He needs a bit of tackle, but he's got he can get it on Princess Lunacy next, and I imagine Flare Shy or Painbow Dash will get tackle with their next level as well.
Yeah. So you're gonna put it on one of the ghouls, and you're gonna put it on one of the whites.
Mm-hmm.
Probably both. Possibly both of the whites.
I'd put it on both of the whites. You've got guard on a ghoul, so you can afford to delay the guard on one of the whites, I think. So yeah, I would take tackle on both of those whites next. Shall we do some predicts?
Yeah, let's do it. Sorry, I was just reading up on the status of the average rice game.
Oh, is that going currently?
Yeah, it's fine. It's an ongoing admin discussion. So.
Well, Crawdad's Zydeco Experience is going to get a bye against Armor Furnace. So we get Cake and Luke, Wood United. So Cake and Grad. Oh, so he would take tackle. Yeah. Or not tackle, sorry. Mighty Blow. On that Saurus. You take Mighty Blow. For sure, because he's going up against Wood Elves. Thankfully,
Cake does have sure hands, which is something that lizards basically never have.
Yeah.
So,
and if he's going to take Mighty Blow on that Saurus, he does have the one.
With Mighty Blow would tackle, Leaf Blower is still going to be a menace that any skink can get his hands on.
Yeah, and there's only actually the one tackle on Cake's side, unfortunately, because there's a lot of dodge on Wood United. Is there how much blodge is there besides the ward answers though?
There's not that. There's one Raj, one blodge, and then the 2 ward answers.
So for the most part, the block is good enough on the Lizardmen because they can just use
at least it puts you back up to the 55% or whatever it is.
Guard the sure hands makes is a really big difference. And see, this is the thing. Mighty Blow would be amazing on Brachiosaurus Bill, but guard would also be amazing, because if you have 2 guard cage corners, the War Dancer just will never cage dive you because you have sure hands on the skink. And you're not often going to have the Kroxigor as part of the corner because you're going to want to stick him on catchers and stuff.
What are Wood Elf linemen? They are
70.
70k. So Cake has 130k to play with, because they both have linemen, or they both have a loner, but the Wood Elves are 10k more, so it's 1620 effectively versus 1490, so he gets 130. I would probably spring for the Wizard.
Yep.
Wizards are really good. Less so without an Agi Skink, but it's still always nice to have the threat of the Attrition Fireball or the really good Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, I think I want to go with Cake. I think that the Sure Hand Skink is going to do a lot of work. I think the Wizard is probably good. And with careful positioning and at least one guard and Sure Hands on the Skink, the War Dancer is going to be pretty disincentivized from cage diving. Although less so because strength 2 on the Skink, but Sure Hands.
Yeah, I mean, he can still pretty easily get a 1 die or a 2 die with the Tackle Mighty Blow piece.
Yeah, but 1 die is not as good when there's Sure Hands available. And also block, for that matter. And
it's true. Then it's a 5+.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for Cake with only 1 tackle, but yeah.
But for the most part,
I think I do want to give
block.
it to Cake. But it's going to be pretty close.
The block makes up for that in a lot of cases. It's only the War Dancers that are going to be a problem, I think. Norse Unleashed versus Friendship is Massacre. So the really devastated Norse of Hiroto Sukara and Morley's Undead.
Oof. Sorry, Hiroto. That's going to be a tough game.
Yeah. So how much is Hiroto going to get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 3. So it's 150. So he's going to be at 1370 against the 1630. So it's what, 260 he gets. So that's Cheney.
He does get Cheney. He does get to play with Cheney Ball, but that Undead team is a wall of Mighty Blow and destruction.
That's true. But Cheney is, the claw, the strength 4 could make a pretty significant difference.
So you're gonna back Hiroto?
No. I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm gonna back Morley. But it's not like a super huge blowout, I don't think. Because
no, like 70-30, I think.
Rotting Snatches and Oth Orcs.
It's gonna be tough. Orcs can do well against Nurgle. Mighty Blow spam does cause attrition issues for Orcs, or for Nurgle rather.
Mm-hmm.
But these Nurgle do have 3 guard and a strength 5 to pair well against Doof's guard spam, and only 1 plus strength lineman.
And there are 2 Mighty Blow Claw players, one with strength and one with piling on as well. So if he can remove, which is not out of the realms of possibility because of those skills, if he can remove 1 or 2 of the guard orcs, whether it be the Black Orc or the Blitzers or something, suddenly the orcs have a really hard time. Even if just 2 of those guard are knocked out, the strength is going to be pretty oppressive, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think
I'm going to go
Nurgle are
Nurgle.
going to win.
They're basically even teams, and if I was playing this game, I think I would rather be the Nurgle than the orcs. So I think I want to give it to Nurgle. All of Doof's teams are pretty good. My favorite was J.R.R. Trollkin, but I mean a troll is kind of bloaty on an orc team who's already that high TV. So too bad he's down. Werewolf of Wall Street from the Sons of Sam.
I was just going to say, as an aside, going back to Cake's game, I don't love Hemlock. You basically have to commit the Blitz stab because you're not really going to have a skink standing next to someone that doesn't just get punched. So that means you're committing your Blitz to a 42% chance of an armor break. I'd usually just rather hit with a Lizard, but I mean, it can be useful. The problem is the first stab he fails, he gets Mighty Blow Tackle punched by a War Dancer and dies.
Yeah.
Because he's stunty. 87 strength 2.
So,
but I think he's Lodge. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Cunning Foxpup and Lord Teton. Although the big thing here is that Cunning Foxpup is going to be out the Mighty Blow Wolf.
That is a big deal.
Against orcs, yeah.
It's a really big deal. In that case, I would go with orcs. I honestly was leaning orcs anyway, but down the Mighty Blow is really going to make the attrition game tough. Claw by itself is a stun machine. It's not really a removal. A reliable removal engine.
Yes, that is true. And I don't think we have Murder Tackle Good, who could certainly do a thing. But the orcs are going to win the control game over the Necro, and I don't think the wolves would.
And Necro are very susceptible to Mighty Blow spam. They don't have a lot of spare players because they have so many positionals. So any removals of zombies with the against AV8, Mighty Blow is doing a lot of work, right?
Yeah, and the 4 guard, the 4 strength 4 pieces means that the wolf that does exist is probably going to have a hard time getting good blocks at all, let alone removals. So I want to give that to Teton and the orcs. And we've got Yeti to Conquer in the scaled measures, so Iron Master and not Nilex Lizards. It's with how well Iron Master has been tearing apart teams, it's really hard to vote against him here. Although this is the Agi 5 Skink team. But there's there is the Niggled Saurus, there's the Armor Busted Saurus, and this is there's a killer on the loose. And
he's currently playing, apparently, Cunning Foxpup, so...
Oh, there you go.
I'll answer to that soon.
Iron Master, I want to say. I mean, almost entirely on the back of his recent results, right? He's been... he's been killing this division, and I think that he will probably continue to do so. Do you have thoughts there?
Yeah.
You just have
I don't know.
Do you want to share them, or are you just going to say that you have thoughts?
Yeah, I'm good. I don't know. I think that's going to be a close game. If I could predict a tie, I would predict a tie.
Well, then you could predict the other way, and then
sure. Let's make it interesting.
And that'll make it a tie guaranteed based on this week. If we predict opposite sides. And Archangel's Will and the Rotterhood. So good Galactic and Archangel. So how much tackle does the Nurgle have? 1.
That's more than I thought they'd have.
1, 2, 3 Mighty Blow against Archangel's Will.
It's true. He is probably going to get Slibbly, and his team is nothing to snuff at. So
how? He's down 200.
He's also at 180k, so he can ditch 30 more. And Iron Master is up 50k, but is planning on buying something probably. I would hesitate to buy anything. I would try to go lean going into this match, Iron Master, because if you do give him Slibbly, I think you're putting the balance definitely in his favor in terms of strength and guard. I would do everything I can to deny Slibbly.
Yeah, you said he's probably going to get Slibbly, and I almost voted to change my response because of that. Slibbly's really good, but we'll keep it interesting.
You're goddamn right.
But Slibbly makes a really big difference there, so I would try to avoid to give it to him if at all possible. So Archangel's Will and the Rotterhood. I mean, Archangel's Will. It's a Wood Elf team. There's a lot of titanium linemen who can't seem to die. There's the Strip Ball and the Double Mighty Blow War Dancers. The Double Mighty Blow doesn't really make that much a difference against Nurgle because you're just going to get out removed against them. The thing is, though, the Nurgle they have 2 guard, but one of them is a Rotter who's movement 4.
They have 3 guard.
Okay, well, you're not going to cage corner with the Beast of Nurgle.
Sometimes you do.
Not frequently. And the Pestigore, while Agi 4 does not have Shore Hands.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a tough matchup for Nurgle, definitely.
I wouldn't want to play this match as the Nurgle coach. I'd be worried about it. Once again, I think this is going to be one of those Wood Elf cases where I think Archangel can win if he's willing to sacrifice his players. If he pixel hugs, he won't win. But if he's willing to rely on those War Dancers doing nonsense and just throwing linemen at the the Nurgle players to like screen off or give up blitzes against them and stuff. I think he'll be able to win that. But like the movement is a disadvantage for the Nurgle. The lack of sure hands is a disadvantage. Only one tackle, like this piece is massive, and for the Nurgle, and there's a couple mighty blow for the War Dancers, so maybe they can remove one. Not
It's
very
also
much
really
guard.
hard to it's hard to protect this Agi 4 AV busted piece from War Dancers, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you can take that one out, that's going to be a big problem. But the wrestle tackle guy is the one that really has a target on his back. That's the only one that can reliably take the ball down.
Yep.
Though there's not a lot of blodge for Archangel, it must be said. He's only
War
got
Dancers.
the 2 War Dancers and 2 linemen, one with Raj, or no, sorry, 3. 2 with blodge, 1 with Raj.
And well, the Nurgle, while like that makes a lot of difference on orcs, the Nurgle have no block, right? They've got 3 Nurgle warriors with block and their movement 4. So if like the movement 7 and 8 Wood Elves are leaving their vulnerable dodge guys who aren't blodge within 4 squares of the Nurgle warriors, they're probably playing poorly. And the other guy who has block is the ball carrier. So like,
yeah, it's fair.
While there isn't a lot of blodge on the Chaos team or the Wood Elf team, the dodge is really good because there's almost no block that's relevant and there's only 1 tackle. I want to give it to the Wood Elves, but I think it might cost them players.
Agreed.
So, right, we talked about the leaderboard. So that's that. Those are our predictions for this week. Let's bring us back up to the bigger screen. So that's been us for this week. We will be back to do the preview for week 8 when we're, which is getting real close to being able to determine who is playoff capable. Next Wednesday, roughly the same time. Until then, thanks for hanging out. I've been Steakmittens.
And I'm Shadorra.
And we'll see you guys next time.